Welcome into another American River College Athletics broadcast brought to you by Stone's Radio Networks. Today we're here, Saturday, Football Saturday. The San Mateo College Bulldogs take on your American River College Beavers. And for the play-by-play and everything else, I'm going to send you up to the booth with our buddies Jordan and the Phantom. Take it away, guys.
Welcome to Beaver Stadium on another Saturday afternoon. My name is Mark the Phantom Lowe here with Jordan Georgeson. We're going to bring you this game between the American River College Beavers and the College of San Mateo Bulldogs. Jordan Georgeson, who writes prep sports for Gold Country Media, for the Auburn Journal, the Lincoln News Messengers, and others. Now, Jordan, we worked the game a couple of weeks ago. A last-second field goal gave the Beavers the victory, 15-13 over Sac City. Since then, a close loss to Laney and a bad loss to Fresno last week. So what have you seen? What do you think of what you've seen since that day, and what do you think the Beavers need to do today?
Well, the big key today is going to be the defense. I mean, American River's defense has been solid so far this year. The big key to me is going to be Kean Sloan. I mean, 25 tackles, 6 sacks, 8.5 tackles for loss. He's doing it all out there. The question is who's going to be the one to help him. American River can play good defense today. They can slow down a very high-powered San Mateo offense. That's, they're scoring, 41 points per game so far in the first 3 games. So you got to do something to slow that down because your offense has proven that you can't quite keep up with that yet, so you got to find another way to shut it down.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. American River ranked 21st in the state. College of San Mateo has moved all the way up to ranked number 2. And you mentioned Richie Watts, the quarterback out of Rockland. He kind of split time in the first game, but the last 2 games he's just been on fire. He's 39 of 51, 584, and 3 touchdowns. And as we mentioned, not too much of that in the first game. So from what you've seen from American River College defense from that first game, Jordan, what do you think defensively, the defensive backfield, what's the key to containing Richie Watts?
I think the key is really just going to be to shut down the San Mateo receivers. I mean, San Mateo really likes to spread the ball around. A lot of their I think they have like 10 to 12 different receivers that have recorded a reception this year. The big key, too, is tight end Colin Griffin. Yeah, I believe it's Colin Griffin. 2 receptions, 22 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's their red zone target, and that's that guy you're going to have to take out of the game, especially when San Mateo gets down into the red zone. So it'll be interesting to see how American River matches that up, and it's going to be interesting to see how they kind of throw the offense at San Mateo, because San Mateo's defense has forced a lot of turnovers this year. They've forced 7 turnovers. They have 2 defensive touchdowns in 3 games. I mean, the Bulldogs' defense is no slouch either.
Yeah, you mentioned that Watts has a lot of different receivers, and that's something you don't usually see at this level. Usually you see one guy stand out or 2 guys stand out, and he does spread it around. But, I'm talking to Coach O of the Beavers during the week, and he said to me that the key, that the first thing they have to do is shut down the running game. Ezra Molina and Juwan Evans are the 2 main runners. They've combined for a little bit over 450 yards in the first 3 games, and to the extent that the run game sets up the pass game, I can see what he says, but are you a little bit surprised that's the target for the defense today for American River?
Not at all, because Maleni and Evans have been solid for the Bulldogs, and I think the big key is really they have to take one of the 2 away and make San Mateo's offense one-dimensional and make it hard for San Mateo to really scheme against ARC's defense. We saw that a little bit with what ARC did against Sac City. And, they kind of went away from it a little bit in that Fresno City game. They got to get back to that. I think the Fresno City game's an outlier. I think this American River team's a little better than that record shows. They've lost to 3, or they've beaten a good team and lost to 2 good teams.
Right.
Been 3 tough games for them, but I think American River is a team that can bounce back, and what a statement it would be to go out and beat the number 2 team in the state right now.
Yeah, you mentioned seeing Sloan, and that's the one thing that really jumped off the page to us when we watched the first game against Sac City is that the penetration the defensive line was getting. Obviously, that's the key to shutting down any pass game is to get to that quarterback. But let's turn it across and look at the American River College offense, Jordan, because we have a situation where we saw 2 quarterbacks at that first game of the season. We saw Matt Carlisle, we saw Kenny Lewis. Right now, Matt Carlisle is going to be getting the start today, and I know that you and I were impressed by the fact that he could actually, get out of the pocket and move on his legs, get a couple of first downs that way too. So what are you looking from Matt Carlisle today, and what are you looking to wake up this kind of offense, which has been kind of sleeping through 3 games for the Beavers?
Well, I think the one thing is American River needs to find a way to contain the pass rush, and San Mateo is going to come in with a big one. They have 6 sacks in 3 games, 12 tackles for loss. So they got to find a way to contain that and maybe give Carlisle, Lewis, whoever's going to be there under center. I know we have Carlisle start, but we'll see if they're platooning. whoever's under center, though, they need some time to find the receivers because American River's got them. I mean, Grayson Barnes, 13 receptions, 138 yards, 2 touchdowns. Robert Freeman's gotten a few. Brennan Barthel, Ian Simpson. So American River has some guys that they can throw the ball to, but you need time to let the play develop and let them get open. So the offensive line either has to find a way to let the Beavers establish a run game or give the quarterback some time and let the play develop. And if that's not happening, you got to maybe find some short passes you can throw in, some screens, maybe some slants, stuff like that, some quick hitters.
Yeah, we talked to, as I said, I talked to Coach during the week. He mentioned Robert Freeman. Is a guy that impressed you and I that first game with his return ability. He's a guy who does things with the ball in his hand. But surprisingly, we're going to see a couple of new backs today. Also, Vontae Jacobs, who was all-conference performer last year and had a good first game, missed last week's game, not known if he's going to be playing today. And we will see Tariq Parker and Toure Hendrick. But Josh Moore and Casey Riley, two bigger backs, Jordan. Josh Moore goes 205 and Casey Riley goes 230. Josh out of Del Oro, Casey out of Orville. And these are two guys that mentioned by the coach Osterhout. He said, we've got to go ahead and establish more of a run game, more of a possession game. And I'm hoping that my big backs can do that.
Yeah, I think the big backs are going to be key to that. I mean, a pure football fan, they appreciate a good power running team. And a power running team that can really control possession, control the pace of the game, and control the clock is a team that's going to have success. And if American River can establish the two young backs, I mean, 2 freshmen and Moore and Riley, but 2 big boys that are going to run behind a big offensive line, American River can get them going. I think this can be a long day for San Mateo's defense because they can wear them down and keep them on the field longer than they want to be out there.
Obviously, in every game we've covered, the same thing is said. You want to get off to a good start, but after 1-2 first 3 games by American River, how important is it for them to come out and especially the first or second series establish some kind of control of the line of scrimmage?
I think it's super important to establish that because you don't want to start giving a team, especially a team that's number 2 in the country or number 2 in the state and 3-0, you don't want to start giving them some confidence. Otherwise, that can start being a snowball effect for you. So you need to go out and really establish the momentum and to kind of take control of this game early if you want to stay in it. Because right now you're sitting at 1-2. You're still number 21. Your 2 losses are 2 very good teams, but sitting at staring at 1-3 potentially, that's not something you want to be looking at, and that's something where you don't want to let the wheels fall off the wagon a little bit.
Well, it sounds we got the captains out at midfield. We're going to have the national anthem here pretty soon, so we're going to step away for a couple of minutes until we conclude all that business as the teams come back out on the field, and we will be back, and when we come back, it'll be time for kickoff here as we are at Beaver Stadium on the campus of American River College, just ahead of today's game between the 21st ranked American River College Beavers and the visiting number 2 ranked College of San Mateo Bulldogs. You're listening to the Stones Radio Network. This is Beaver Football.
American River College is a top-tier community college sports program that provides student-athletes with the opportunity to thrive both athletically and academically. ARC Athletics is currently ranked 5th in the state and 2nd in Northern California. With over 19 sports programs, our athletes compete with the region's best athletes. Our diverse and dedicated coaching staff helps athletes develop the skills necessary to compete at the next level. Start your community college athletics journey with us. American River College, Sacramento's best athletic program. Go Beavers.
Get up! I'm just a rider. I'm just a rider.
You're listening to coverage of ARC Athletics on Stones Radio Networks. Now back to the booth right here on Stones Radio Networks.
And welcome back to Beaver Stadium as we are ready for the action between American River College and the College of San Mateo. Mark the Phantom Low here with Jordan Georgeson. And we just got the Star Spangled Banner, and now we are ready for action. It looks like we're trying to see who won the toss here and who will be receiving. And Jordan, what are you looking for? We've talked a little bit about controlling the line of scrimmage, but this first series, if you're American River, would you rather go out there and get a few licks in defensively, or you want to go out and try to stretch your legs offensively?
I think you want to go out and stretch the legs offensively. I mean, a team like San Mateo that really can come out and score at will. I mean, they're averaging 41 points a game, 419 yards a game. I think if you're American River, you maybe want to try to make them play from behind. See if you can get 3 up. See if you can get 6 up. And it doesn't look like they're going to have the chance. It looks like Sarah's taking the ball. But if I was ARC with that kickoff, I think that's what I would have gone for.
Well, yeah, I agree with you. Now San Mateo is going to have the ball with, as you say, with those 41 points a game. And Richie Watts, the quarterback out of Rockland, who has had some tremendous games here of late, 18 of 20 in the last outing. They won 35-17 over Modesto. So they are coming out here full of confidence and well-earned confidence, while I think American River College, Jordan, kind of has to earn their confidence back after that win in Game 1.
Yeah, I think so, too. I think they felt on cloud 9 after that win Game 1. Then they were kind of on the opposite end of that. In the Laney game, wheels fell off the wagon at Fresno. You want to make sure that doesn't happen here against a very, very good San Mateo team.
Here we go. Zach Schreiner is going to be kicking the ball off to the College of San Mateo, and we are ready to go, and we're off as he kicks it down right about the goal line, picked up at the 1 up the right side, trying to get down the sideline and knocked out of bounds there. Dwight Evans was the ball carrier, and he is knocked out right around the 24-25-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 from there for the College of San Mateo. And a huge task, Jordan, as we've talked about before. This American River College defense, very impressive in the first 2 games, not so much in the third game, and now maybe their toughest test to date.
Yeah, toughest test, but I think you got to go out and prove that Fresno game was a fluke. Try to make a statement right here. Get a stop. You don't necessarily need to go 3 and out, but don't let the Bulldogs get in scoring position.
Watson in a shotgun. He's got a single back behind him. He's going to hand that ball off to going around the right side, closed in by a couple of Beaver defenders, about a 2 or 3 yard gain there.
That looked like Mulaney got the first carry.
Ezra Mulaney get the carry. So first play, they're just kind of testing the outsides, Jordan, and everybody gets just to bump a little bit and get ready.
Yeah, decent pursuit there, but the Bulldogs still got 4 yards there. If you're averaging 4 yards a carry, you're going to move the ball pretty well on a Saturday afternoon. Yeah,
it looked like actually the line of scrimmage is actually the 22, so it'll be 2nd and 6 now with Watts and Mulaney behind him. Mulaney 241 yards and 4 touchdowns on the ground for the first 3 games. So he is a weapon for the Bulldogs. Watts motioning for his flanker to go in motion and then gets set, and he fakes the handoff, looks down the field, down the middle. He's going to get it down the sidelines. He's got a man open and is completed on the sidelines. The hit is made and retired at the 43-yard line. So that was a completion to, it looks like, Nate Sanchez. Oh, it was Mulaney, number 6, not number 5. So Mulaney, the first receiver, Jordan, was not open, so he went to the auxiliary one.
No, it was actually great coverage downfield, and you could see Watts actually looked for a minute like, oh, man, no one's open, scrambled. Good job by him finding open Mulaney down there sitting in the flat, and he ends up breaking a few tackles and getting some good yards.
They relaxed the coverage after the first read was not gone to, so it's a first down on the 44-yard line for the Bulldogs. Watts in the shotgun with Mulaney behind him, hands it off to Ezra. He's going to the right side. Now, good penetration by the Beavers, and they knock him out after about a gain of 2.
Yeah, Beavers doing a good job getting to the outside, and the pursuit looks good. The problem is you just gotta find a way to get that pursuit into the backfield like you've been doing those first 2 games this season.
Yeah, and as you pointed out earlier, I mean that's good. You make the pursuit, but this is a very varied offense, and you've got to go ahead and you have to defend against a lot of different things. And so that's going to be the Beavers' task here. As it's second down and 8 from the 46, just getting started here. 13:22 left in the first quarter. College of San Mateo ranked number 2 in the state. They are 3-0 on the season. Watson the shotgun, Molina behind him, turns and hands off to Ezra, going left side this time. He's got a little bit of a hole, moves up. He's going to get over the 45-yard line down to the 44 for a first down. Flag going up on the play very late in the play. We'll see what that is.
It looked like there was an American River guy that might have been in the neutral zone, but the flag came out a little later than what I would think for a neutral zone infraction.
Looks like it's a sideline warning on American River College. So the referee, who was right in front of American River sideline, waited until the play was over and then said, hey, guys, you got to cool it. First down for the Bulldogs here at the 45-yard line of the Beavers. Molina with that carry, about 12 yards on it. Watson the shotgun again, turns around, he fakes it, rolls to his left, looking to the left sideline, hits a receiver open, but a short gain, probably about 3 or 4 yards over there on the left side, brings up a 2nd and 6.
It's a good little play by Watts. Find that open receiver. Got a good little shot in there. You chip away 5 yards on first down, and now 2nd and 5. You've got a lot of playbook to work with.
Yeah, I watched him in warming up. He did a lot of those drills where he rolled to the side and threw about a 6-yard shot, a little down and out there to try to get the quick completion, which he got there. Second down, about 7 yards to go. Maybe we'll call it 7. Single back behind Watts. He hands it off to Molini. He is stopped. Picked up and stopped there with a gain maybe of a yard. It's going to send up first third down of the game, 3rd and 6, Jordan.
I believe that one might have actually been Evans that got the carry there. So his first touch of the night. And this is a big one, 3rd down for the Beavers. Bulldogs are coming in 17 of 30 on 3rd down this year. So they're pretty efficient on 3rd down, led by an efficient quarterback. He's the most efficient QB in the state of anyone that's thrown over 50 passes. So Beavers really need to buckle down right here.
Evans, 22 yards gained in the first 3 games, 3 touchdowns. So a 3rd and 6 from the 41-yard line. Watson, the shotgun, goes up, whispers something to the center, comes back. He's going to hand that ball off to him on the right side. Good penetration by the Beavers, and that is a fantastic play in there.
I believe that was Josh Tremaine that
Josh
went through.
Tremaine, the linebacker, he's one of the highest tacklers on the Beavers team, and he drops him for about a 2-yard loss. He's going to bring up a 4th and 8.
And that's what you needed to see if you're the Beavers. 21 tackles for loss in the first 3 games. That's an average of 7 a game. Like I said, you can bend on this first drive, but you cannot break, and that's a great job by the Beavers to force a punt right
Yeah,
there.
you get a punt from San Mateo on the first drive. That is, as you say, Jordan, kind of a notch in the belt there for the Beavers. Obviously, you want to make sure you don't make a mistake on this, a penalty or something on this 4th down. But that's a great penetration by Josh Tremaine. And we see the Bulldogs go into punt formation, standing on about the 43-yard line. And then we're going to have timeout called.
One thing I want to note about Tremaine, too, he might be riding a little high. A former Folsom Bulldog after Folsom's big win last night over De La Salle, a team that's kind of had their number over the years.
Yeah, so he probably said, I wish they'd done that when I was there. But still, he's probably enjoying that. And he's enjoying the 5-yard delay of game penalty also against the Bulldogs. So they will be punting now. Line of scrimmage at their 47, or the Beavers 47. The low punt kind of balloons over toward the sidelines, and it's out of bounds. We'll see how many yards that going out of bounds took off that punt, but it looks like the Beavers will take over right about the 20-yard line. So all in all, Jordan, pretty good first series.
Pretty good first series for American River, and a smart play by Sarah there not to kick to Freeman. We saw what he can do in the punt return game. But
that's a great point.
At this point, that was essentially as good as a touchback, because now Beavers got 80 yards to go, and they have struggled moving the ball a little bit, but we'll see what they can do today.
Yeah, I think he was trying that directional kicking, but he just didn't get his foot into it enough. So it's first down, and Matt Carlisle is in the shotgun formation. We'll see who the starting running back is. As we talked about, there are going to be a couple of new running backs in the game here. Carlisle's going to fake it now. He's got it. Rolls to his right. He's thrown it. An out pattern is, I think, complete. No, it's knocked away by the College of San Mateo. So trying to down and out pass about 8 yards to the right side. It was knocked away.
Yeah, it looks like that was just some good defense there, broken up there. I believe that was Tyrese Ivey Jr. that broke that one up, if I saw correctly. I could be mistaken, but American River trying to try something new, a little play action to start. You got a mobile quarterback, you got some good receivers. See what you can do with them.
Yeah, we'll see who that running back is behind Matt Carlisle.
Looks like that's Joshua Moore, the freshman out of Del Oro.
So number 28, Joshua Moore. We thought he'd get some carries today, and that's what the coach said during the week, and he's going to get a carry right now. He goes up the middle, a little bit of room there, and he pokes ahead for about 4 yards, bring up a 3rd and 6 for the Beavers.
Moore comes in staying at 6 foot 205, so a little more of a bowling ball that you had rather than a Avante Jacobs and Tariq Parker. Both great backs, but a little more on the shifty side, and I think you need a physical back to take down a big team like San Mateo.
Absolutely. That's why we heard from the coach that Josh would get some reps, and also probably Casey Riley, the big guy out of Orville. So third down in the shotgun, Matt Carlisle. Looks like pressure coming from the Bulldogs. Now Carlisle's going to back off.
Looks like he might be changing the play after seeing what type of pressure the Bulldogs bringing.
Taking his time. Brings the running back right next to him. Now he goes back. He's looking down the middle. He's going to have to get away. He's got some room to the left side, but good pursuit. He's going to get down the left side. Now he cuts it back to the middle. He is out to the 45-yard line. Now he falls ahead all the way to the 48-yard line. So Carlisle making the most of the situation. Jordan, he had a little bit of pressure, and he ran away from it.
And, good job of Carlisle by recognizing that pressure right away. Didn't stand in there. Look, he realized my first option's not open. The pressure is coming. He rolled out. He got that first down. And I appreciate a quarterback that cuts back in, doesn't run out of bounds, and lowers his shoulder into contact.
I'd already called him out of bounds because I don't appreciate that. I like a quarterback who stays in the game, but I can see where teammates are going to love a guy who goes, no, let me get a couple more yards and take a couple more licks. So first down at the 47-yard line of the Beavers. Carlisle with Moore next to him. He fakes it off to him. He's going to keep it himself, and he's trying to get down the middle, but he's going to be dropped probably right at the line of scrimmage. It was an option, and the option he chose wasn't the right one.
No, it wasn't the right one. I think he made the right read. I think he hit the wrong hole, though, when he started carrying the ball. He bounced it outside, tried to do a little bit of what he did on the last play. I think he could have just taken that hole, taken the 2-3 yards that were there, and get back up on 2nd and 7, see what you can do.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think he probably took the wrong course that time. So it is 2nd and 11. On the 46-yard line now of the Beavers. 8:31 to go here. First quarter, no score. Bulldogs had the ball first, had a short sustained drive, but it was closed down right around the 45-yard line. And the Beavers took over at their own 20, and they moved it up here to the 46, where they face a 2nd and 11 with Matt Carlisle in the shotgun. He's going to hand that one right back up the middle to Moore, who's got about 3 yards. So he's got it back up to where it will be 3rd and 7 for the Beavers.
Yeah, good little move there by Moore, making it a little more manageable. It looks like actually it might have been a 4-yard gain because I think they were a little behind the line of scrimmage. Nah, we'll call it 3.5.
All right, 3.5. Well, I was going to call it 3rd and 7. We'll call it 3rd and 8. But whatever, it's a big third down, and as you've told me before, the third down has not been the best part of the Beavers game so far. So let's see what they can do this time, and then we'll look at the numbers on that. Carlisle in the shotgun. Pressure coming from the Bulldogs. Carlisle back to pass. Look out behind him. He's knocked down and he loses the ball, trying to cover it himself. Let's see if he did. San Mateo is signaling that they have it, and so is the referee. So the Bulldogs, with the blitz, hits Carlisle from behind. He loses the ball. It's covered by the Bulldogs. They'll have a first down on the Beavers' 40 with 7:29 to go first quarter.
I believe that was sophomore Vaughn Mamea that came in there. I mean, poor Carlisle never saw that one coming. That's why you protect the blind side right there. San Mateo doing what it does best, forcing another turnover. That's her 8th turnover now in just 4 games and really just in 13 quarters, I guess you could say.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think in that situation, it looked like Carlisle had a pattern that was supposed to develop a little earlier. He kind of held on to the ball a long time, asking for trouble when you do that, and the Bulldogs now taking over first down on the 40 of the Beavers with Watts in the shotgun. Single back behind him. He fakes the handoff, looks down the middle. He's got time. He lets it fly right down the middle. Double covered is the receiver, and it's overthrown. Good coverage by the Beavers on that one.
Looked like good coverage. Looks like San Mateo wants a face mask, or he wanted some type of call on that, but I think it was just a little bit off on it. It was a good ball. It was a good route, and I think that's a route that, chance you're going to take when you have first down on the other team's 40-yard line. Just didn't work out in their favor there.
Yeah, good defense by the Beavers. Brings up 2nd and 10. Watts again in that shotgun. He's got a single receiver out right. He's got one out to the left and the running back behind him. He's going to hand that ball off to that running back going left side. He's still alive. It looks like about a 6 or 7 yard gain, maybe about 8-yard gain on that left side. And it'll set up a 3rd and 2 on the 32-yard line of the Beavers.
Looked like that was Jawan Evans on that carry. Good job bouncing that ball outside, getting the yards, and making it very third and short, third and manageable. Now you can run the ball or pass.
Yeah, it looks like it was a 7-yard gain, so we'll give him a 3rd and 3 here, 6:55 to go first quarter. Watts in the shotgun and Evans behind him. Jawan with 222 yards coming into this game on the ground and 3 touchdowns. Watts looks like he might be telling people, changing the play a little bit at the line of scrimmage. Single receiver out to the right. Now he moves into the bulk of the formation. Watts hands it off down the middle to Evans. He's got room, and he's going to have the 3 yards, but good tackle by the Beavers. About a 5-yard gain for Evans, but he paid for it.
Yeah, he definitely paid for it, but I don't think he's going to mind. He got that first down. The way that Bulldogs have moved the ball so far, they're really nickel and diming their way down the field, but they're picking apart this Beaver defense a little bit. They had a good stand there late in it, but now they're starting the drive with their backs against the wall a little bit. We'll see what they can do.
Yeah, a little bit. The short runs, they just simple runs up the middle are what they're doing off tackle as well. A couple of little short passes. They tried the long one. It was incomplete. So 1st and 10 on the 28-yard line of the Beavers. 6 minutes to go first quarter. Watts in the gun with Evans behind him. 2 out to the left, 1 to the right. He's going to hand it off to Evans. He's going to find the left side, but a great tackle. Good defense penetration by the Beavers, and he's knocked down for a 1-yard loss.
It was like that was number 40, Robert Matulich, the Rockland product there, coming in, getting the sack against the the team being led by his former quarterback. So little high school rivalry
payback there. Yeah, he gets the tackle around the ankles, gets the tackle for loss. It'll set up a 2nd and 11, and now we're going to have a penalty tacked on, or looks like it's going to be a big one against the Bulldogs. He's marched off 10, and now the referee keeps going farther and then going back and then going back. Let's see. I don't see any signal as to what the problem was, but it is now back on the 38-yard line.
That's going to make it 1st and 20.
1st and 20. Make sure it's going to have a replay of the down. And Watts is looking to pass. It's a short one out to the right side. It's complete. Good defense converging by the Beavers. It'll be about a 5 or 6 yard gain there as Watts went on the quick down and out and picked it up. But good defensive coverage by the American River College Beavers.
Good coverage. That was Ramello Murphy that reeled that one in. He's the team's leading receiver going into this game. 7 receptions, 109 yards. As we said, though, the Bulldogs really like to spread the ball around. I believe they have 10 different receivers with a reception. So Murphy may be the leading receiver on this team, but, that ball's getting spread around. I don't think we're going to see guys reeling in 7 or 8 catches a game.
Okay, we're looking at about a 2nd and 12 now for the Bulldogs. Watts in the gun. Evans behind him. He's going to look straight to throw it out to their side again, and that pass is complete. The receiver goes straight to the ground, so it is a short gain. It'll set up a 3rd down and about 10 for the Beavers. For the Bulldogs.
And this is a big one for American River, too, because you're still a little bit out of field goal range. You're right on that cusp. So not only is it important to get a stop here, but it's important to not really let them get a lot of positive yards or get inside the 20-yard line.
I think fortunate were the Beavers. That throw a little bit low from Watts didn't allow his receiver to get any yards after the catch. So it's 3rd down and about 9 yards to go here from the 25-yard line. Watts goes back, looking across the middle. He's going to let one fly, double cover, and it's caught. And it is a touchdown for the Bulldogs.
I believe that was Murphy again. Great job going up and get that with the coverage. It was good coverage by the Beavers, but better ball and better catch. And, sometimes Jims and Joes beat X's and O's.
Ramello Murphy with the catch. That's his 9th of the season, and he's over 125 yards as a receiver and 6 points up on the board for the Bulldogs. Just a well-thrown ball by Watts into good coverage, as you mentioned, Jordan, but a good catch by Murphy. And the Bulldogs lead this one 6-0, pending this extra point try, which is up and looks like it's good, and it is. That'll make it a 7-0 score in favor of the Bulldogs. 4:07 to go in the first quarter, and Jordan, they shut them down the first time, but the second time, just too much variety by the Bulldogs.
I think too much variety because Bulldogs can attack you in so many different ways. It's hard to zero in on one thing, and they have so many different weapons they can hit you with, and that's just a killer for the Beavers too, because on that 3rd down, they did everything right. They had great coverage. It could have easily been a stop for them, and forcing them to maybe hold them to 3, but just a good play by the Bulldogs. And like I said, sometimes you got a team that just But you got so many weapons, and you have so much talent on it, they can overpower you that way too.
Yeah, so Beavers give up the 7 points on the second drive, and now they're going to get another chance themselves, and they're going to come out here and try to do something. Their biggest play, their first drive, was a run by Matt Carlisle. So, I mean, I think it's important for American River College to establish some conventional ways of moving the ball. You know, you're not going to be able to count on a scramble all the time, so they've got to go ahead and try to control that line of scrimmage, and that sets up everything for your offense.
I agree completely, and I think points on this drive are pivotal too. Even if it's just 3, you need to get something to get that goose egg off the board, get that sour taste from the fumble, and then letting up a touchdown out of your mouth.
Okay, here we go. Beavers with the double backs back there to receive this kickoff with 4:07 to go in the first quarter. Waiting for the referee's whistle. There it is. Good kick is going to be into the end zone, I think, and they're just going to let that one go and come on out. Take the touchback, which was touchback by a considerable margin, and American River coming out. We'll check and make sure that the personnel is the same. With we had Matt Carlisle and we had Joshua Moore there in the first drive. Jordan, you expect the same two out there?
I think so too. I think it's important to let your guys get in a rhythm. You know, it's one thing to rotate your guys, platoon guys, especially as stamina and fatigue start to kick in, but it's important in the first quarter especially. Let your offense find a rhythm and find a way they can move the ball with some efficiency and just really settle in.
Well, we're going to see if they can do that now with Carlisle in the shotgun. First down from the 25 after the touchback. He's going to hand that one off, come around the left side. Got a little bit of room out here, 5, 10, 15. That's a 15-yard gain thrown out at the 40-yard line is number 28, and that is Joshua Moore. So Moore with the carry and just a lot of room opened up, Jordan, on that left side.
A lot of room opened up fast. That's the blocking you want to see if you're the Beavers, and Moore found that hole. Moore hit it. And, you know, he's a freshman coming in from Del Oro, and the SFL is a tough league, but it's not junior college football, and I think it's important for him to get some confidence, get some running room, and maybe start feeling like, okay, I can do this.
Gain of 14 officially on the 39-yard line. First down for the Beavers. Carlisle gets it. He's going to hand off to Moore again. That's a double reverse coming around the left side. He's got one man to beat. Comes around going to get, I think he might have gone out of bounds. And that is going to be another first down for the Beavers as he was not marked out of bounds into the 48-yard line, trying to see exactly who that was on the reverse coming in from the right side.
Looked like it was Freeman on the reverse. We do have a flag down around the 45-yard line. The Beavers are marching back, so I'm guessing there might have been a hold somewhere.
So we've got a hold on that play, and I think when you have a couple of changes of direction, it's a little difficult sometimes for offensive linemen to get the right area. So we've got a hold that's going to erase that play that will make it first, and usually that's a spot foul, so let's see where they mark it. It's going to be at the 33-yard line, so it'll be 1st and 16 now for the Beavers, and they're keeping the same personnel. But, you know, I mean, there was a penalty, but at least it's a positive play in yardage-wise. You can think about it that way. So that's 2 good plays by the Beavers in a row, and they're going to have Carlisle back in the shotgun with Moore behind him. First down and 16 yards to go from their own 33. They give it to Josh up the middle. He's got a little bit of room coming out to the left side. Lead block by Carlisle, and it's a good gain by Josh Moore. And Jordan, I know what you're going to say right now about your quarterback.
I love a physical quarterback. When you see a quarterback out there laying blocks down, I mean, what more can you ask? You're a guy, Matt Carlisle, playing with a lot of heart and some great stiff arms there by Moore. I mean, Beavers are moving the ball. Moving
the ball. That makes it a second down and about 7. Yeah, he handed it off to Josh Moore, and then he just ran out ahead of him and laid a couple of blocks down there. And that gets your team galvanized. At least that's what the Beavers are hoping. And he is in the shotgun again as Matt Carlisle. He's going to hand that off to Moore. And Joshua comes through, breaks through. He's got one man to beat. A nice tackle by the Bulldogs, but it's down at around the 40-yard line. Another big game for Joshua Moore. He's asking for a break as it was a fine tackle by, I think, number 1 for the College of San Mateo.
I believe that's Justin Sinclair.
Justin Sinclair, one of the top tacklers on the team, and we can see why on that one, Jordan.
Yeah, good tackle there by Sinclair, and a great job by Moore to find the open field, and I love putting that shoulder down, getting those extra couple yards, almost breaking that tackle, and it would have been nothing but green grass for him.
Let's see if that's Casey Riley who came in for him because Moore asked out after that run. Carlisle's going to hand it up the middle to whoever that is. I think that's Riley, number 37. out
Yeah.
of Orrville, and he's got about a 2 or 3 yard game. And Jordan, what has changed? What's different right now from what we've seen in the beginning of the first quarter?
I think American River's got a little confidence now. I think he had a few big runs. The offensive line's starting to move well. You get the big block from your quarterback and 2 or 3 big runs in a row, and all of a sudden your team's feeling good. They're a little pumped up, and I think they're feeling good right now.
1:40 to go, first quarter, ticking down as Carlisle's in the gun. Second down coming up, about 7 yards to go for American River. He's going to hand on the option. He gives it to Riley. Riley puts it on the ground, and it's covered, I think, by San Mateo. And they have picked up the fumble. Riley with the ball on the option play, tackle from behind, and now we've got a penalty thrown, probably some tempers flaring down there, but it looks like it was recovered by the Bulldogs.
Yeah, it looks like it was. In the second drive where the Beavers have moved the ball decently well and ended with a fumble, that's something you don't want to see, and that's something that's going to be a problem. Now that's 9 turnovers now for this Bulldog team and 13 quarters of play.
Yeah, as you know, there's once you get a scent of the turnover for a defense, that's like a shark out there, and that's a situation where the Beavers strung 4, 5, 6 positive plays together, and the one play that they don't get together, not only does it not work, but they give up possession.
And one little silver lining is it looks like that penalty is going to go against San Mateo, so the field position might be a little better in this, and the way your defense has been playing, that's solid for them, but you don't want to see 2 straight drives end with turnovers, especially when there are 2 drives that the way the Beavers moving the ball could have ended in points.
Yeah, and the last time the Bulldogs had the ball, they moved the ball down the field pretty methodically. So, yeah, you want to give him more field to have to move down, but you still don't want that to be the case. So we're sitting here, 1:19 to go in the first quarter. Bulldogs lead this one 7-0. Second turnover for American River College. Another fumble pounced on by the Bulldogs. I think that might have been Sinclair again, who's been everywhere for the College of San Mateo, and now they take over with Richie Watts in the shotgun. See if that's Evans or Molina behind him.
Believe that's Molina, but I can't quite tell.
They've been alternating the backs to pretty good success so far as Watts turns and hands it away. Good penetration by the Beavers, but Molina gets away from a couple. I tell you, that's a 1-yard run that he had to dodge about 4 guys.
Yeah, it's good heads-up running ability by Molina there in the backfield. American River's doing a good job getting in the backfield and disturbing those plays. They need to keep doing that this afternoon if they want to have a fighting chance, especially with the turnover bug biting them a little bit.
You're right about that. The penetration for the defensive line is the key if they're going to have any chance of stopping a high-powered offense like the Bulldogs, who face now a 2nd and 9 from their own 30-yard line. Watts in the gun. Looks receiver out to the right and one out to the left. He's got the back behind him. He's going to look down the field, send it up in the middle. And it's closed by the defensive back of American River, and it's overthrown. So one-on-one down the left side, and a good help by the safety, and it's going to be a 3rd down.
Looks like he was looking for Jemai East there, another big receiver on this Bulldog team. 6 receptions, 93 yards, and a touchdown going in today. Ball just sailed on him a little bit, but it was a good matchup, and I like the decision to throw to him. Just didn't work out for them. But now there's an important 3rd down. Again, if you're the Beavers, you've got to get off the field here, especially with the momentum your offense had.
3rd and 9. Watts in the gun. He's sending 2 out to the right this time, 1 to the left, and then 1 in the slot. So it's heavy right. Now the slot guy goes in motion to the left. Watts goes back. He's looking to the right. He lays one off, but good defense by the Beavers. They close down. 1 tackle is missed, but 2 more guys come up and knock him down at the 34-yard line. That, I believe, was Molina on the reception. He got away from 1, but good pursuit by the Beavers, and Jordan, that was an impressive stand.
Yeah, great job. That was Matulich, and it looked like Teague Sloan coming in and really just laying the lumber on that hit and ending up stopping him. I mean, great job there, and now you're forced to 3 and out, and you guys can go out there and get that ball back and get your offense moving again.
3 seconds to go, first quarter, and I think the time now has run out. That will be the end of the first quarter. So at the end of the first quarter, we have a score of the College of San Mateo 7, the American River College Beavers 0. We'll be back right after this. This is the American River College football presented by the Stones Radio Networks.
American River College is a top-tier community college sports program that provides student-athletes with the opportunity to thrive both athletically and academically. ARC Athletics is currently ranked 5th in the state and 2nd in Northern California. With over 19 sports programs, our athletes compete with the region's best athletes. Our diverse and dedicated coaching staff helps athletes develop the skills necessary to compete at the next level. Start your community college athletics journey with us. American River College, Sacramento's best athletic program. Go Beavers.
And we are back for the start of the second quarter. American River College against the College of San Mateo at Beaver Stadium on the campus of American River College. Punt formation for the Bulldogs as the Beavers with a fine defensive stand. That punt's going to be a short one, but it's going to take a good bounce for the Bulldogs. It's going to go down inside the 20-yard line and roll to a stop right about the 12 or 13-yard line of the Beavers. So they'll have to go 88 yards for the score. And, Jordan, obviously the key is to keep your hands on the ball, but secondly, what are you looking for from the Beavers?
I think you got to keep that run game going. I mean, Joshua Moore really has gotten it going. Looks like he's back out there. Why not feed the hot hand and feed the guy who's been moving the ball?
Yeah, he burst through the line a couple times on this previous drive. That's something we hadn't seen from the Beavers maybe all season long, so that was a good thing to see. So we go first down from the 12-yard line, it looks like. Matt Carlisle in the gun. He's got, as we said, Joshua Moore behind him, the freshman out of Del Oro, getting his first start today and looking very impressive doing so. And we've got a momentary timeout here as the referees are getting together and talking about something.
And I'll say this about the way Moore's ran the ball. You know, American River's really run with Avante Jacobs and Tariq Parker in the first couple games. It could be hard for a San Mateo defense to prepare for two running backs they haven't seen all season.
Yeah, and kind of, as you said earlier, kind of even a different approach. Not as much outside the tackles, more inside the tackles. And so now we're ready to go. Carlisle taking the snap. Looks like pressure from the Bulldogs. He's going to hand it off. No, he's going to roll out to the right and throw it. Just caught at the 10 to the 15 to the 17-yard line. A good tackle is made, but a quick pass there. I think that's Grayson Barnes, the tight end, his first catch of the day.
I believe so, and that was, I believe Barnes reeled that in one-handed, so flashing off the stickiness of his gloves there. Good little advertisement for Under Armour and Nike, whoever made those.
Well, that's good to get a little bit of room, though. It's first down on your own 12, so you get a little bit of room. Like you say, a tough catch, but Grayson made it. He's been very impressive through the first three games. And it's 2nd and 5 now for the Beavers. Fakes the handoff, fakes it to nobody. Going to send that down over the middle. Throws it. There's nobody there. It's picked off by the Bulldogs. That is Justin Sinclair at the 50, coming back to the 40. Cuts inside, moves to the left side at the 30, and knocked down at about the 26-yard line. So, Jordan, that looked like a bad play all along. He faked it to the wrong side and then threw it down the middle. Really nobody there.
Yeah, faked it to the wrong side. Had pressure on his face, throws into double coverage, and easy pick for Sinclair, his second pick. We do have two flags down there, though.
Two flags on the play. They might be on the return, but we'll wait and see as nobody is going out on the field. Looks like the Beaver defense is going out on the field. So we've got a penalty, I think maybe offsetting penalties. He just called a penalty on the Bulldogs, but then just said first down. So I don't know if there was offsetting penalties after the interception or exactly what's going on, but it does look like it will be College of San Mateo ball.
You know, that's a big problem for the Beavers right now. You've had 3 possessions, and 3 times it's ended in turnovers. And, I mean, 2 of them pretty bad turnovers, just bad carry and a bad interception there. So they've got to figure out a way to nip this turnover bug because your defense is doing a good job holding the Bulldogs. Can't expect that for 4 quarters.
So we do have a penalty. Was marched off back to the 42-yard line, so it was a penalty after the interception, obviously. So it's first down at the 42. The fake by Watts. Good pressure, and that's a sack by the American River College. Looks like number 90 there, Jordan.
I believe that was actually 40. That was Matulich again.
That's our guy, Robert Matulich.
Now tackling his former high school teammate.
Yeah, that was Watts with the fake to the left side and came around to right. Looks like he thought he was going to be wide open, but Matulich, as you said, Jordan, just closed that one down.
Yeah, he came out there like a cannonball, just shot out, and Watts really never had a chance to even look through his progressions there. Matulich was in his face right away.
Yeah, loss of 9 on the play, 2nd and 19 from the 49 now of the Bulldogs. 13:33 to go, second quarter. Bulldogs 7, the Beavers nothing. Watts in the gun, single back behind him. He hands it to that single back, going out the right side. He has a little bit of room going around the corner, closed down and pushed out of bounds after a gain of about 5 or 6 yards on the play, which will bring up a third down. I think there is a flag on the play, though, so let's see what that is. And the referee looks like he wants to tell us what that is, so we'll wait. I think we're going to have an illegal snap.
Illegal shift.
Illegal shift on the Bulldogs, so we'll see if that negates the play or if that's a penalty that they can decline. We'll see. As the result of the play was about a 5 or 6 yard gain, and they're going to march that penalty off against the Bulldogs.
Yeah, it looks like the man in motion never really got his feet set before they snapped the ball, and they're going to get you for that every time. And that's tough because now you were looking at a 3rd and 10, and now it's a 2nd and looks like 21, 22.
Yeah, it's a big one for the Bulldogs with Watts in the shotgun. Single receiver out to the left and the wide side and to the right. Now he goes in motion, which was the problem last play. The handoff is made going down the right side, picking and choosing his way through, getting up at about a 7-yard gain there for the Bulldogs. That is Juwan Evans with that carry, and that's going to bring us, I think, Jordan, we don't have a down marker, but I think that would make us into a 3rd down situation here.
It looks like 3rd and about 15. Great run by Evans, but you're still facing a 3rd and long. And again, if you're the Beavers, it is pivotal to get off the field in this. Your defense has been on the field a lot. You don't want to keep them on longer than they need.
What are you looking for? Are you looking for the Bulldogs to put the ball up in the air here, or they're trying to break something on the ground? It looks like they've got double receivers out left and out right. So that kind of answers my question there, as he's got a single back behind Watts. He goes back to pass right away. Good pressure. He steps up. He's got a chance. He throws it down the sidelines. It is complete at the 1st down marker. He eludes one tackler, eludes two, still going, but he is out of bounds. It's going to be about a 17 or 18-yard gain and a 1st down for the Bulldogs, and that's the one they couldn't have, Jordan.
Yeah, it looks like that was Brian Pierce that reeled that one in. Like you said, it's exactly what they couldn't have. It looked like they were playing a zone, and they picked it apart.
Yeah, 4 catches, 86 yards, and a touchdown for Pierce coming in. So he pulls in a very big catch here in the 2nd quarter for the Bulldogs. They have 1st down now on the Beavers' 27-yard line. 11:41 to go in the half. Bulldogs with the 7-0 lead. Beavers with the 3 turnovers on offense. Single receiver out to left, 2 out to the right. Now Watts is going up to talk to his lineman, changing things up. I think that is Evans behind him in the backfield. Now I think he's going to call a timeout and step away. So while we got this timeout, Jordan, we are at 7-0. I think we can agree that the key stat in the game so far is the 3 turnovers. But as far as what needs to go from this time forward, obviously right now the onus is, as it's been all day, on the defense of the Beavers.
Yeah, I think the defense of the Beavers played well, but the thing is, with a team like San Mateo in here, you got to find a way to get that defense off the field a little bit more. You're going to wear them out, and it might be 7-0 at halftime, 10-0 at halftime, something like that. But if they're on the field for 2/3 of the game, it can be a long second half when these guys start getting exhausted in this heat.
Yeah, that's a great point, because we tend to think, well, they have 3 turnovers, and so now the offense can't score. That's true, but it also means the defense is on the field for after all 3 of those turnovers, which means they didn't get that much of a rest. And they, as we've talked a couple of times today, they have a varied offensive attack that they have to deal with here with the College of San Mateo Bulldogs. With Richie Watts, the quarterback, came in at 39 for 51. 584, as you mentioned, Jordan, amongst guys who've thrown more than 50 passes, the most efficient passer in the state. He had 584 yards and 3 touchdowns. He has a touchdown pass here today as well to Romello Murphy, who is his leading receiver. But again, they spread it out so well, they must have a half dozen guys with at least 5 or 6 catches, and that is a tough thing to defend. So here we are. 1st down. Watts looks to his left. Now he goes up to change the play again at the line of scrimmage. Press coverage by the cornerbacks for the Beavers, and he's going to hand that one off up the middle. Good tackle in the middle right there. Seeing who that is. Is that, am I seeing Sloan in there in the middle?
I believe that was Sean Switzer, I believe, the D lineman out of Intercom, 6'2", 235. Big boy down there plugging up the holes.
Yeah, good job there, holding him to just a couple of yards, which sets up about 6 or 7 yards to go for a 1st down. Again, a lot of things that the Beaver defense has to think about with Watts, with Evans, with all the receivers. Turns around, hands it up the middle again as Evans. Good pursuit and a fine tackle by the Beavers for a loss on the play.
That was Donovan Laban for the Beavers that got that. 22 tackles. That's 2nd most on the team. Good job getting in the backfield now and forcing a 3rd and long.
Yeah, he was one of the guys that Coach O was talking about when I talked to him the first time about guys coming back from last year that were great last year, coming back again and kind of the leaders of the team, and he made a play that the leaders make right there. So a 3rd down and about 8 yards to go here from the 26-yard line of the Beavers. Watts comes back to pass, looks down the middle. Now he's going to the right corner. He's got a man open there, but he overthrows him badly, and it'll be a 4th down for the Bulldogs. Now, Jordan, we saw their kicker in warm-ups. He's got quite the leg on him, so I'd expect this to be a field goal try.
I expect this too, but I think with the interception, the return, the field possession the Bulldogs had starting, I think if you're the Beavers, you take leaving them with 3 points here.
Yeah, giving them with a chance for 3 points. This is about a 43-yard shot here by the kicker, who we're going to get a number of so we can identify him properly.
I believe it's looks like 47, but that's listed as Trayvon Robinson, a freshman linebacker.
Well, let's see.
Well, that's American River's roster. So
there you go. That's your problem right there. The snap, left-footed kick. It is up, and it looks good, and it is good. So a 42-yard field goal.
And that's Gabe Placencia on the
Gabe
kick.
Placencia, who was 2 for 6 on field goals before this one, but after watching him kick that one, I don't know how he missed 4. But like you say, Jordan, 3 points, kind of a good news, bad news scenario. Now 10-0. Now your offense gets a chance to come on there. They have the memory of 3 turnovers, and the flip side of that, as you pointed out, you got to get that defense off the field and give them a little bit of break.
You got to get the defense off the field. I mean, first priority on this drive is points no matter what, especially now that you're down by 2 scores. Priority number 2 is get a couple first downs. If you're not going to get points, at least move the ball a little bit. I mean, that's important to giving that defense a rest. We're talking about an offense that's averaging 192 yards per game, so they haven't really given their defense a lot of rest this season.
Right, that's a great point.
You got to find a way to do that in this drive.
Yeah, absolutely right. And I think that's one of the frustrating things, or one of the more frustrating things, is they have shown with Joshua Moore kind of as the key. They can move the ball, and they can move the ball on the ground, but you can't have sustained drives without holding on to the football, and we've shown 2 fumbles and the interception that we're not really good at holding on to the football right now.
No, and the Beavers done a better job, too, getting first downs and moving the ball in this, but just turnovers are derailing these drives.
Right. Well, Placencia out there, that is 26, actually make that 27 points on the season for Gabe Placencia, as he has 3 field goals now and 18 on extra points. So with 9:58 to go in the second quarter, he is going to kick it down to the Beavers. Last time it was a touchback. This one is just into the end zone, but it's going to be returned by the Beavers up down the left side, coming out to the 10 to the 15, and that's about as far as they're going to get out there. Might have been better served to let that one go, as they'll have first down at the 15.
Looks like we do have a Bulldog down. They're helping him up. I think that's just a little cramp.
Yep.
We're back in the 90s, even though we had some fall weather here, and I think that heat's starting to take effect on some of these players.
Yeah, as you mentioned, that's another reason you want to keep your defense off the field, because the heat is taking effect on some of these guys. The Beavers are ready to go. The Bulldogs are chatting about their defensive strategy, and now they are finally back on the field as we are 9:52 to go in the second quarter. 10-0 in favor of the Bulldogs.
Looks like we got Lewis, so now we got a battle of the Rockland quarterbacks out there.
So Kenneth Lewis comes in. He has been sharing time with Matt Carlisle. He's got a couple of receivers out to the right side and back right next to him. He hands it off. No, he does hand it off around the left side. A little bit of room and a nice gain over there on the left side. Is that Joshua Moore again, Jordan? I think Joshua is back in the game.
I believe that is Moore, and Moore's done a good job bouncing outside and really mixing power with speed. I mean, he can move for a big fellow when he gets in the open field.
Yeah, let's see the spot's going to be back on the 22. I mean, it looked like they were going to give him about the 24, so he's at the 22, which makes it a 2nd and 3, but a 7-yard gain by Joshua Moore. So the Beavers have found something. Coach O was talking about it when I talked to him during the week. He wanted to get Moore. He wanted to get Casey Riley into the game. 2nd and 3 with Lewis back behind center. He's got Moore behind him. He's going to throw. Now he's going to bring it down, try to escape to his left. He's looking downfield. He's going to run out of bounds. I think he probably got the first down over there. Let's see where it's marked. Hard to see, but situation, Jordan, looked like he wanted to throw that one quick.
Looked like he wanted to throw it quick. The read wasn't there. Good job by him pulling that one down. And making the smart play, don't get another turnover, get that first down with your legs.
Yeah, and I always say when you see a quarterback pull it down and still be able to move at it like that, give credit to that offensive line because they kept guys out of his space. Now, I know Lewis was about 6'4", so he can see over him, but they kept guys out of his space where he could pump fake, still have time to get around the corner. Looking to the sidelines to get the play, and they are ready to go here as Lewis on his first series of the day. Matt Carlisle playing the first quarter and a half. In motion, the Beavers. Now they reset with more to the left, and a time is called. It's going to be a timeout on American River. You know, we're going to take a timeout ourselves here with 8:32 to go in the first half. We have a score of the College of San Mateo 10, and American River College Beavers nothing. You're watching American River College Beavers on YouTube, presented by the Stones Radio Networks.
American River College is a top-tier community college sports program that provides student athletes with the opportunity to thrive both athletically and academically. ARC Athletics is currently ranked 5th in the state and 2nd in Northern California. With over 19 sports programs, our athletes compete with the region's best athletes. Our diverse and dedicated coaching staff helps athletes develop the skills necessary to compete at the next level. Start your community college athletics journey with us. American River College, Sacramento's best athletic program. Go Beavers.
And we are back to Beaver Stadium here. 8:32 to go, second quarter. Mark the Phantom Low here with Jordan Georgeson, the prep writer extraordinaire from Gold Country Media. You can read his stuff in the Auburn Journal, Lincoln News Messenger, among others. And we are seeing now a new quarterback, Ken Lewis, out of Rockland High School. So both of our quarterbacks, as you point out, Jordan, are from Rockland right now. And he is trying to get the Beavers going. They have a first down here, as he has a little scramble there to get the first down at the 25-yard line now of the Beavers. He's going to pass. He flips it over to the left, gets the safety valve. Good closing defense by the Bulldogs. It's going to be about a gain of 2 on the play. And, Jordan, we had pressure coming in from the left side.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if that was a design screen pass or if the Bulldogs just broke through that line right away. But good job of Lewis to get that ball out there quick and, salvage what he could out of the play.
What he could was getting back to the line of scrimmage. And that's one of the times where you hope your running back can go ahead and make one move, make one guy miss, and maybe get himself a little bit of breathing room. But good tackle by the Bulldogs, bringing up the 2nd and 10 from the 25. Just under 8 minutes to go here in the half. 10-0 in favor of the College of San Mateo. It is a handoff up on the left side, stacked up quickly by the Bulldogs. Maybe a 2-yard gain, and it's going to set up 3rd and 8.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a read option or a play action, but whatever it was, it got stuffed right away, and it looks like now we're going to have, Torrey Hendrick, the Folsom product, coming in the backfield, giving Moore a little bit of relief.
Well, maybe Torrey coming in to offer himself as maybe a little of a throwing target, too, because we've talked about he and Terry Parker being more of a scat back situation than Joshua Moore and Casey Riley. So we face a 3rd and looks like about 9 here from the 21. Got to get to the 30 for the Beavers. Lewis back to pass. He's got time. He throws it over the middle to Barnes on a release, but he's going to be far short of the first down. So he had a guy clear out the deep pattern, and Barnes came across the middle, but not enough for the first down, of a gain of about 4.
Yeah, good job again by the San Mateo defense to hold the Beavers, and you held the ball for a little bit. You didn't get the first downs you were kind of hoping for, and now that Beaver defense is going to be asked to make another big stop and keep this at a 2-score game before the half ends.
Yeah, I think, we saw more. We've seen more be effective with the running game, Jordan, but I haven't seen a consistent as far as a passing game. They've been dumping them off, going ahead and like safety valves, and that's basically been the passing game so far. So we got a punt situation for the Beavers. High punt coming down at about the 35, and as a fair catch by College of San Mateo. So they will take over on their own 35, make it a 36-yard line with 6:15 to go here. And that's a situation where you didn't get a turnover or anything, but you really weren't able to pop a couple of plays. You had one or two that maybe if you make one guy miss, it happens, but it just didn't happen for him that time.
It just didn't work out. That's kind of what happens when you're running these short passes or these screen passes. You need to find guys to make them miss, but the closing speed right now of the Bulldog defense has been impressive and really taking that away for the Beavers. You got to find another way to attack because the rushing game, it's doing well, but it can't do well all game if your offense is one-dimensional.
Yeah, I think the Bulldogs are able to pack the box knowing that they're really not a threat of a long pass or even an intermediate pass being completed. And we're going to have a penalty on the Bulldogs. We're going to march it back to the 26-yard line, so a 10-yard penalty during the punt on College of San Mateo, the number 2 ranked team in the state, so they will be 1st and 10 from their own 26. Richie Watts in the shotgun, alternated between Evans and Malini behind him as the single back. They split time tonight. They split time in the first 3 games, both of them over 220 yards rushing. Bulldogs having trouble getting set as they have a couple of confused guys on the wide receiver. One of them is going to leave the game. I guess the play clock is a 2-minute play clock. You get a lot of time here to figure out what's going on as they've got a totally new player out in the left wing. And finally, we're ready to go. First down from the 26. Watts hands it off around the right side. Got a little bit of room there and then closed down by the Beavers after about a gain of 3. Set up a 2nd and 7.
I believe that was Ezra Mulaney on that carry, and you had to think they were running with the amount of guys they had down there on the line.
Yeah, well, once you when you switch out a wide receiver right before the play, then it's always going to be a run.
Yeah.
You got to think, well, that's important that they brought that new guy in. No, they're not even going to get it. It's not going near the ball.
Yeah, it was looked like a 2 or even a 3 tight end package there.
2nd and 7, 5:58 to go, first half. Bulldogs 10, Beavers nothing. Watts in the shotgun, single receiver out to the left. He was now motioned into the formation. It's a fake handoff. He's rolling to his right, looking down the sidelines. He has a man open, but it's going to be a very short game as the defense was right there for the Beavers. They'll bring up a 3rd down.
Looked like he was looking for another one of those 2 tight ends that was on the field. I believe that might have been Matt Fideli, but I can't quite tell. You know, the silver numbers on the white jersey, it's hard to tell when it's on the far end of the field.
There you go.
What it is.
So you got 3rd and 6 now. It's good defensive pressure, good defensive coverage by the Beavers. They let them catch the ball, but shut them down right away. And we have another, what we call the big 3rd downs here with 5:15 and counting here in the half. Watts, as always, in the gun. Looks up the middle. Now he's stepping up and rolling to his right. He found a guy on the right side, wide open in the middle of the field. The pass is completed, the 50, the 40, reversing field to the 30, down to the 25. The tackle is made by the Beavers at the 25-yard line.
Great job by Watts there. It looks like he found Justin Del Rosario, sophomore wideout. His coverage had to break down there somewhere because he was wide open in midfield and a great catch and run to gain the extra 20 yards there, too.
Julian Davis with the tackle for the Beavers, and I think that's a situation, Jordan, where he had time to roll out. By the time he had time, somebody got uncovered, and the pass was made. He found him right on the right side there, and as you say, a good cutback to get the extra 25, and it's first down now at the 25 for the Bulldogs, looking to add to their 10-0 lead here in the second quarter. And now I think we're going to have a timeout. A timeout for the Bulldogs. And, Jordan, I think besides the obvious, I mean, you don't want them to score a touchdown. You want to limit them to 3 or nothing. What's a mindset now? If you're a Beavers defensive guy, you've been out there a long time. You've been taking on a very varied offensive arsenal from College of San Mateo. So what are you looking for in the last 4 minutes?
I think the big thing you got to figure out, not only the last 4 minutes, but the rest of the game, how to get off the field on 3rd down, because Beavers have looked tremendous on 1st and 2nd down, and a couple big breakdowns on 3rd down have led some big plays for the Bulldogs, and that's really been the difference maker in this one on the defensive end of the ball. And you got to find a way to hold them to 3 here, though. Keep it at a 2-score game no matter what before the half.
Yeah, I mean, I think a couple of times I know that 3rd down is because the first guy's not open. Watts rolls out. He finds a guy on the move, and then somebody gets uncovered as everybody's kind of scrambling. And I think that's happened to them a couple of times. So it's not the initial coverage, I think. It's they cover him. Watts rolls out, buys himself time, gets time, and makes the right decisions on the run.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is a testament to Watts' ability to extend plays with his legs and, allow plays to develop. And when you have an athletic quarterback like that, you can do things like that.
Yeah, as we mentioned, I mean, the guy's his efficiency amongst passers with over 50 attempts, the highest in the state, and we can see why, because he puts himself in perfect position or good position to deliver the ball. And now we've got a first down on the 25, 4:21 to go till halftime. Watts with a single back behind him. He's going to look to his right. Now he rolls the right. The back is defending for him. He's going to let that one go back into the middle of the field. It's completed. A couple of tough tackles broken and down inside of the 15-yard line. That'll be a first down for the Bulldogs.
Looks like he found a tight end again on that one. I actually believe it was number 88, Brandon Doyle. That sounds about right for the tight end because I believe I saw his name on the stat sheet a little bit. And, again, good job by Watts extending that play and finding the open man.
Yeah, that was a good play design because they had him go out there. They had the back in front of him to protect him, and he had time to go ahead and make his decision. And, again, the defense all shifted over to that side, so we threw it back to the middle and found Doyle, as you mentioned, for the first down. So first and 10 on the 14-yard line for the Bulldogs, 3:45 to go, first half. Richie Watts, the quarterback out of Rockland, and now they're going to call another timeout for the Bulldogs as they try to get everything together. This is actually, in a way, Jordan, I think, benefiting the Beavers a little bit because it's giving those guys a little bit of rest. But so we've seen Watts now, we've seen his modus operandi. He likes to go on, move on the run, and he likes to wait to see what's happening, and he gets the time to do it. So what does American River have to do about that?
I think right now American River needs to almost find a way to, I don't know if you run necessarily a quarterback spy or you got to find some way to contain that scramble. Maybe even go to more of a man-to-man type of defense rather than a zone because when you have a scrambling quarterback like that, he can pick apart a zone because he'll just wait for a guy to fall into a spot where there's no defense. And you got to find a way to adjust to that. But another thing that's going to be key for the Beavers right here, this is the first snap for San Mateo in the red zone today, and as impressive as they are, it's even more impressive in the red zone. They have 12 trips to the red zone this year. 10 of them ended in 6.
There you go. So we got to buck the odds on that one if you're the Beavers. And one thing that they're rolling out does it deflects that defensive penetration, the defensive line penetration of the Beavers, which is one of their strongest areas so far during the first 4 games of the season. So here we are. Ball's at the 14. Watts with a receiver out to his left. He's got a single back behind him. He's going to step back and throw it down the corner, and it is complete, I believe, in the end zone for a touchdown. So that single receiver on the left had single coverage, a fade pass, and we've got a penalty thrown by the referee who was by the American River College sideline, so I think that might be on the Beavers. But, Jordan, another impressive pass play.
Another impressive pass play. I mean, great job by Watts. He put that right where pretty much only East could get it, and good job by East making the adjustment to the ball in the air, reeling that one in, and 6 points. And now that's 11 touchdowns and 13 red zone trips for the Bulldogs. Yeah,
good stat there. Jemai East with his second touchdown of the year. And another. So it's going to be a penalty. It's the second warning against the Beaver sideline, which will result in a delay of game. We'll see if that is enforced on the kickoff as Gabe Placencia comes out. He is perfect for the season, 18 of 18 on extra points. His point would make it 17-0 with 3:33 to go here in the second quarter. As the Bulldogs taking advantage, as Jordan said, they have been successful on a couple of big third downs, and not always short third downs, kind of medium and long-range third downs, and that has been the key, especially to this drive that allows them to go up, we think, by 17 after this extra point try. Finally, everybody is set to go. Placencia is ready with the left foot. Snap is good. The kick is up, and the kick is also good. So Placencia still perfect on extra points. He gives the Bulldogs a 17-0 lead, and 3:33 to go here, Jordan, in the first half. And obviously, they want to put points on the board, but what do you think, as far as looking at what American River has done offensively in the first half, what do you think they need to do extra to try to go ahead and keep some of those drives sustained?
I think you need to find a way to run a play action. You've been very successful running the ball, but not only make it a play action, you need to take a stab downfield using a play action. Mm-hmm. Maybe really try to sell one and have a guy streaking down the field. See if you can get a one-on-one matchup that you like. You need to find a way. You've been nickel and diming your way down the field. Some turnovers have hurt you. You need to find a way to get a big chunk of yards in 1 or 2 plays and really move that ball and flip the field position quickly. Yeah,
the one long pass they took was kind of an ill-advised throw, and it got picked off earlier in the second quarter. But I do agree they have to somehow kind of extend the field, try to spread the field a little bit. As you mentioned, Joshua Moore has been able to run the ball. They had when Carlisle was in there, he had a couple of good runs himself. So they did move the ball on the ground, but it takes a long time to score if you're moving the ball only on the ground. I mean, it takes a long time, and you can't have any mistakes, and that is where the Beavers, with a couple of fumbles, made those mistakes. And so let's see what they can do here.
And the way that the Bulldogs
looks like Robert Freeman is down there. He is going to be one of the guys waiting for that kick.
The way the Bulldogs move the ball down the field, too, the last thing you want to do if you're the Beavers is put the ball back in their hands before the half ends.
That's a great point. You want to, obviously, you always want to avoid turnovers, but you especially don't want to give the ball back with 3 minutes to go in the half. 17-0 in favor of the Bulldogs. Essentia lets the kick go. That one's going to be a little shorter than usual. Handled right on the goal line by the Beavers, coming up to the left side. Now back to middle, moves out to the left side, 20-25, and out to about the 28-yard line. So a good return.
Solid return. I believe that was Julian Davis, actually, the Elk Grove product. So name we didn't quite call on the returns in the first game, and he ends up getting a decent return, giving the Beavers some good field position.
Julian Davis, the defensive back, and now he has a nice return to about the 28-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Beavers with 3:26 to go. And I think it's still Kenny Lewis out there under center, actually in the shotgun, and he needs to get a spark. He's only been in the game for a couple of minutes, but he is back there with the running back to his right. 2 receivers out to the right, 1 to the left for Kenny. He's looking to put the ball in the air. Now he's going to let that one go. It's a screen pass, but it's smelled out by the Bulldogs and going to be stopped for no gain.
It was a big hit there delivered by the Bulldog defense. I'm trying to see who that was. It looks like it was number 42 there for the Bulldogs, Aloha Matau.
Loa Matahu said Akuna Matata to the receiver. I think that was Casey Riley down there, as it was screenplays are by definition, Jordan, kind of slow developing, but that one seemed a little excessively so.
Yeah, it seemed very slow developing, and then just a great read by Matau there to crash in on it, and he didn't actually bring down Torre, but ended up just stopping that forward momentum and delivered a big hit in the process.
He just stopped him, and he couldn't go any further. He wasn't on the ground. Now we're going to have a penalty, I think. And sportsmanlike conduct on number 88, Jordan. So we'll see if that's going to be 15 yards against the Beavers, which obviously you don't ever want a penalty. You don't want to be pinned down deep in your own territory, as we talked about at the end of the first half.
No, and like I said earlier, especially on a team that's averaging 192 yards per game, you don't want to make it any harder on yourself than you need to.
Right. So the play, I think, will count, and then it'll be an unsportsmanlike, so it'll be 2nd down. And now they'll have to get all the way back up to the 37 or 38-yard line, and they are on the 14. So we're going to call that 2nd and 23. Lewis in the shotgun. Not a lot of 2nd and 24 plays that you can run, so let's see what they come up with. And Lewis is going to keep it after pulling it out of the running back's belly, and he's got to get about 2 yards on the play, bring up a big 3rd down. In College of San Mateo, if they have any timeouts, they're probably going to call one of them now.
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, why not, especially pad that lead a little bit before the half if you can.
Yeah, 17-0, 2:40 to go. And the Beavers are going to call everybody aside, and they're going to have I think they're going to have a team meeting on the sideline, Jordan, and try to straighten things out here as we the first half has been all College of San Mateo. We have seen bits and pieces defensively and offensively for the Beavers, but quite frankly, they just haven't been able to finish.
Right now, I see an offense for the Beavers that just looks lost. I mean, they're attacking well with the run game, but you can't expect that's going to go well for 60 minutes, and they need to find another way to attack it, and they haven't found a way to attack the San Mateo defense yet efficiently outside of the run. Yeah,
we'll look at the stats at halftime, but I'm interested to see how many. I mean, the Beavers have been running the ball pretty effectively here in this first half, but their pass game has been basically non-existent. And as you mentioned a couple of times, their defense has been on the field for an exorbitant amount of time. So those are a couple of things that worked against them, and obviously the three turnovers as well. So it'll be 2nd down for the Beavers. Now we're ready to go as the Bulldogs break up their side. The Beavers are back ready after their team meeting.
It's 3rd down, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. It says 3 right over there. That makes sense.
Could be an elaborate trick, though.
It could be a trick, but we did have the screenplay right before the penalty. So there we go. We have a 3rd down. Somewhere around 23 yards to go, 22 yards to go. Lewis is going to just hand it right up the middle to Riley. He'll get himself a couple of yards up the middle, over the 20 out to about the 22. And the Beavers will have to punt away. I don't know that there's any more timeouts for the Bulldogs, so they're going to let this one run down as the Beavers sent the punt team out there.
I think a lot of the way the Beavers are playing this is the way their defense has played. The Bulldogs really need to get something going on first or second down if they're going to put points up before the half. So the Beavers might be banking on, we're stopping them on first and second down. Maybe let's leave them with no options on third.
Yeah, Aldo Masinovich, the kicker out of Del Campo. He will punt it away as we go under 2 minutes here in the first half. Single back for the Bulldogs right around the 40-yard line. That one is sent up. It's a very good kick, and it'll send him back to the 30. Going to get it about the 26-yard line. Takes a look, and good coverage by the Beavers, but 3 or 4 missed tackles make that 5. He's still alive. Got the ball on the right side. Gets away from another one down the right side. There's no one left to get him. That is blocked. The last guy's blocked away, and we have a punt return of about 74 yards for the Bulldogs to go up 23-0.
And who else but Raymelo Murphy again, making some guys miss, breaking a few big tackles and picking up some big blocks there. I mean, that's the last thing you want to see if you're a Beaver fan.
Obviously is, but again, a good kick that maybe outkicked the coverage. But Jordan, when Murphy got the ball and turned around, there were 3 Beavers right there. So they had the coverage on the play. They just didn't make the tackle. Give some credit, obviously, to Raymelo Murphy, who's an excellent receiver, and now as we see an excellent punt returner as well.
Yeah, that's got to be one of the most frustrating plays, though, because now you're getting the ball back. You're down 24-0. You have to find a way to put points up before the half, and you really don't have much of an answer for this Bulldog defense right now.
And what you're trying to do is you're trying to put up points, and you got a time, like you got a time crunch too. So you've got a deadline. It's not just try to put up points, get a drive together. You got to do it in a minute and a half, and that sometimes compounds it and causes more mistakes. So we'll see what happens after this extra point by Placencia, who is, as we said, perfect, 19 of 19.
If you're kicking 19 extra points in 4 games, I think your offense moved the ball pretty well.
As you mentioned, 41 points a game, and well on the way to that in this one. And we had an injured player for the Beavers. That's why we had a little bit of a delay here.
And I believe that's Robert Matulich. It's coming off the field. He had a hard block laid on him. He was actually that final block there on the play, and that's a big loss for the Beavers if he's out.
Yeah, he's been excellent today so far in the Beavers defense. So we'll keep an eye on Robert Matulich, and out of Rockland, I believe. We'll see if he is able to return to the game as he gets over to the sideline with a little bit of help. He's going to go into the tent, and here's Placencia.
Looks like he's
left
in a
footer.
good amount of pain too.
That one is up, and that one is good. So the perfect record on the PATs continues for Gabe Placencia, and his Bulldogs have a 24-0 lead over the American River College Beavers. 1 minute and 30 seconds to go until halftime. And Jordan, I know that you want to put up points and everything, but maybe American River College is better served, maybe kind of sitting on this one and going into halftime at 24.
I think so. You're getting the ball back at the half. I mean, I might, if I'm the Beavers, if you see something develop, maybe take one stab downfield.
Yeah.
If nothing's open, throw it away. Go into the half and try to find a way to attack this Bulldog defense in the second half. But if you could try to make a stab downfield, maybe see if you can get into scoring position, something before the half to try to bring points up. Because, like I said, you're getting the ball back. Start third quarter.
Yeah, but there's nothing that's really giving you confidence that you'll be able to pull that. You don't want to see what happened earlier, which is you get under pressure and throw one away and get that extra turnover. So I think you're right. I think, it's going to depend a little bit on the kickoff return, and Placencia puts it right around the goal line, so it's usually tough to get it out too far against the Bulldogs. But we'll see what happens with Davis going back there, and also Robert Freeman. So 2 good return guys for the Beavers, and if they can, get out to the 30, 35, 40-yard line, maybe you go ahead and try something. I think if you're pinned down inside your 25, I don't know that it really is worth doing at this point in the game.
Yeah, I agree.
So here we go. Placencia setting up to kick from the right hash. Freeman and Davis waiting about 3 yards deep in the end zone, which shows how much respect they have for that left leg. 1 minute, 30 seconds to go, first half. And the kick is up. It's going to be a little bit short this time, but it does come down at about the 1 yard line, picked up out there. A little bit of room up the middle, comes up, cuts to the outside, keeps going down the left side. There they go. Keep going there. Last guy gets him at the 35-yard line. I believe that was Robert Freeman, Jordan, and that's what we were looking for.
And Freeman, he's done that all season so far and delivers in a big way. And now you have the Beavers starting to drive in plus territory, potential scoring position. That's what you need to see to get some momentum going in.
Yeah, that's what we asked to see there. As far as what you want to do is break the big one and give credit to the kick return team. Good blocking down the field that opened it up for Freeman. He came up the middle and went down the left sideline. There was an angle for him, and he made the best of it. He's going to be ruled out at the 40-yard line, so a 59-yard kickoff return. And first down for the Beavers on the 40.
Looks like the Beavers have a lot of speed on the field right now, too, so I'm expecting they're going to try to throw something deep.
They got single coverage out here on the right side as a wide receiver here, 2 to the left. Lewis going to fake the handoff. There's going to be a reverse, and they're going to go around the right side. A little more room as he cuts to the outside. Good defense by the Bulldogs, and Freeman, who had himself, I think he had more yards and tried to go back to get another angle. Jordan, it cost him a few yards, so he picked up about 4.
Yeah, and that play looked like it was developing well, and then all of a sudden Bulldogs closed in. We've seen that a few times this afternoon.
That's a great point. They do have incredible, their pursuit is really good. Even when their play looks like it's going to be successful, they get a couple of guys over there. Second down at the 37-yard line now. Short pass out to the sideline is caught by Barnes. He might have gotten the first down. We'll see where they mark it. Grayson Barnes, 40 seconds to go here. And they are not going to give him the first down, it looks like.
Well, more importantly, he got out of bounds, and that's a big thing there.
He did get out of bounds, so it's going to be third down and 1 from the 31. 40 seconds to go. Looks like a couple of tight ends, Jordan, coming in for the Beavers.
Keep in mind the Beavers do have 1 timeout left, but also a first down stops the clock. So you essentially, if you can convert this, you have 2 timeouts in your back pocket. At least stops the clock until the chains are set.
Seth Bozzi and Ian Simpson coming in for the Beavers, which may be what they do. Let's see if they run it to try to get the first down and then call one of those timeouts. And that is option play going up the middle. Lewis, he's got a little bit of room. He's all the way down to right around the 20-yard line. So a couple of tough quarterbacks, Jordan, for the Beavers so far. That's been kind of their best asset.
Yeah, and Lewis, another good run there. I mean, 6'4", 210. Why not lower your shoulder and get a few extra yards? 26
seconds to go in the half, and it's going to be a timeout called by the Beavers, which is what we thought would happen. If they ran the run, go ahead, get the first down, and then call your timeout. And I think Lewis got more yards than they thought he was going to get, so they were a little late calling the timeout. But 23 seconds to go and about 22 yards to go for that first touchdown, Jordan.
I will say this, though. I almost think you should have held on to that timeout there, just because the clock stops when you get a first down until they set the chains. If you're going to that line on the third down, I feel like you should have 2 plays ready to go in your back pocket so you know what you're running should you get that first down. And you essentially save as much time as you can, keep that timeout in your back pocket.
Yeah, it seemed to me when they brought in the 2 tight ends that they were definitely going into a run to try to get that first down. And when I saw that, I thought that might mean they were going to go ahead and use the timeout, which they have done. And I mean, whether you agree with that or not, it's a situation where the Beavers have to make sure that they're all on the same page, right? Because this is a critical time of the game, 23 seconds to go in the first half.
Yeah, I think the biggest key now is you either have to get something past first down marker or get out of bounds right away. Otherwise, you essentially get 1 play before you have to march that kicking unit out there and try to get 3.
Yeah, we all watch games on Saturdays and Sundays. We all decide that we are the best people at handling the clock. And it's a little bit different when you're actually doing it, but it does come into play all the time. And Ian Simpson still on the field, the tight end number 88 out of Whitney. 2 wide receivers split to the right, 1 running back behind Kenny Lewis. Bulldogs pull off on the pressure. And Lewis is going to go into the left corner of the end zone. He's got a man, but too much congestion over there. And I thought I heard a whistle during the play. It must have been just inadvertent. Trying to get receiver in the corner of the end zone there. Jordan just overthrew him.
Yeah, I was looking for Ian Reynolds there. Lewis took a shot on the release on that too, but he saw the matchup he liked. He had a jump ball. It just was a little bit overthrown.
A little bit overthrown in that corner. There's just not a lot of room when you're working the near pylon there on the left side. So it gives them time to think about the next play. 17 seconds to go. Second down. Lewis looking over to the sidelines to get the key. He has got Barthel split out to the right. And also a player in the slot there. One guy out to the left. Looks like pressure coming in from the Bulldogs. Time for Lewis. He lets one out to the right. Barthel has it, and he's going to step out of bounds at the 12-yard line. Very effective play, Jordan.
Effective play. Barthel was right there with nobody around. Good job getting out of bounds, and that's what you want to see if you're the Beavers.
What I also like seeing is one of my quarterbacks throwing a really nice ball, a real nice strike right there, putting it right where it had to be, right on time. That bodes well for the future. And Barthel, as you mentioned, wide open on the sidelines and did the right thing to step out of bounds, which is what you were asking him to do anyway. So 11 seconds to go here. He picked up about 7 yards. We'll call it, let's call it 8 yards. So we're going to have a 3rd and 2.
A good job by Lewis taking what the defense is giving him right now. A good job by the Beavers to, help with the clock management, get out of bounds, and
wide side to the left, just a single receiver over there. And now we're going to have a stoppage of play and a delay of game, which is something you could not have. And the Beavers will take a 5-yard penalty, which will move them back to about the 16-yard line here, still 3rd down.
That essentially negates everything Barthel did. And right here, if you're Lewis, I think if you don't see something right away, it's a catch, you just throw that ball away and get 3.
Yeah, you try to get the 3 if you need to, and that gives them a little more room to work if they want to go into the end zone. I mean, that's kind of like looking at the bright side, the silver lining. But let's see if Lewis gets enough time, which he has gotten so far, to go ahead and try to pick out a receiver downfield. He's in the shotgun, gets it, steps up a little bit. Now he's got pressure. He's going to let it go, and it's picked off at the 10-yard line by the Bulldogs. And the tackle will be made, and that will be the end of the first half.
That's Flynn Williams on the interception. Good read there. Great stand by the Bulldogs. And if you're the Beavers, that's the tail of the first half right there. You move the ball
perfect.
well, and a turnover ends a drive.
And in that case, as we said, he had pressure on him. He knew he had pressure. He would get away. Maybe he was doing what you suggested and tried to throw it away, but Williams was right there. So that ends the first half. The key stat for the Beavers, actually 2 of them. They're behind 24-0, and they've turned the ball over now 4 times. So for Jordan Georgeson and me, Mark the Phantom Lowe, that is the first half. At the half, the score, College of San Mateo Bulldogs 24, the American River College Beavers nothing. We're going to take a step away. We'll be back with the second half in just a couple of minutes. You're watching American River College football on YouTube, presented by the Stones Radio Networks.
You're listening to coverage of ARC Athletics on Stones Radio Networks.
Welcome back to Beaver Stadium. Mark the Phantom Low here with Jordan Georgeson, and we are looking at a 24-0 College of San Mateo Bulldog lead over the American River College Beavers. And Jordan, obviously the big number in the first half, besides those 24 points, the 4 turnovers that the Beavers committed. So let's move forward now. Let's not look back. Let's move forward. Take it first with the offense. What does the offense need to do in this next 30 minutes?
I think you need to protect the football. I mean, if you can take any solace in something from that first half, if you're the Beaver offense, you move the ball pretty well against a very strong defensive team, and it's a team that creates turnovers. They now have forced 10 turnovers in their first 3.5 games.
Right.
So it's a strong defense, but you move the ball well. This is a game that could easily be 17-14, 21-14 right now. And I think you look at that if you're the Beavers and say, you know what, we can move the ball on these guys. Let's try to go out there and get some points in the second half.
Okay, this may just be me, but I think, watching the first game as we did, the win over Sac City, and watching the first half of this game, it looks to me like with Joshua Moore's insertion, that pumped the running game up a little bit. As you mentioned, Tariq Parker, Avante Jacobs, the smaller backs, and they have been successful too early in the season, but Moore really impressive. But until the Beavers can develop some sort of consistent passing game, it's going to put too much pressure on their line and on their running backs to try to contribute and put those long drives together, and they got to get something, so get some quick strike capabilities.
Yeah, and they had a little bit of that in that final drive before the half. I think the big key to it, though, is when you're moving the ball like that, just when they're bringing the pressure, when there's nothing there, throw the ball away. Don't try to force something that's not there. They've done a good job at times taking what the defense is giving them. They got to keep doing that, not force something on third down, try to make a play that's not really just not there.
Yeah, and it seemed like a little bit College of San Mateo called off the Dogs as far as the pressure was concerned late in the first half, but they did send an extra guy on the interception, so that's something that the Beavers are going to have to deal with. So let's flip it over to the other side. I think both of us have been pretty, I don't know if impressed is the right word, but I think the defense has played pretty well, but they kind of got put behind the 8 ball a couple times.
They got put behind the 8 ball. They have not started in favorable field position almost every time, and really 2 big third down plays are what set up San Mateo for these scores, and then a punt return for a touchdown. So if the defense can get a little bit more of a rest and get off the field some more, it might even allow the offense some opportunities to open some stuff up, and I think it can start being a snowball effect, and the Beavers can start getting things moving.
Yeah, the one time, it looks like Richie Watts, he's had another excellent first half, but from watching him for 2 quarters, it looks like he really is a mobile quarterback, and he uses that mobility to go ahead and reset the pocket, if you will, and kind of reset the downfield. A lot of times the American River College defenders are over-shifting to the side that he's on, and he throws it back against the grain to an open receiver. It's happened a couple of times. I think it might be something that they really come out there and try to do.
And I think a lot of what they do, like you say, they try to do it. There's one play in particular that reminded me of it. He had a play where he rolled out to the right. The running back is out there, and he almost used that running back as, one, you're a shield, and then if they rush at me and you get behind them, you're a receiver.
Yeah.
And, if they rush at me and you're in front of them, you're a blocker. I mean, it was really impressive the way they did that. And, I mean, they draw it up to Watts' abilities very well, and he's impressed so far in the first half.
Yeah, he split time in the first game and then came on and started the second and third games and amassed most of the 548 yards that we've talked about. He has a couple of touchdowns here today, and he's thrown a real nice ball. And again, Ramelo Murphy has been very effective too, for a receiver who's caught a touchdown and also had a tremendous punt return.
Yeah, that touchdown to Murphy, I mean, we mentioned it when it happened, but that was great coverage by the Beaver defense and just a better throw and better catch. And again, he found, I believe it was Jemai East in the end zone right down here, too. Jump ball, great ball, put it where only East could get it. And, I mean, that's been the story of it is American River's defense has held up well, but sometimes, players are going to make plays.
Yeah, and the one thing they haven't been able to do is get a turnover on their side, and maybe that's the kind of thing. You just think that American River, even if it's not to win in this ball game, they need one thing. They need something to really seize on, and I thought they were going to get it at the end of that first half. It didn't turn out that way, and so now they get the ball to start the third quarter. We'll look to see who's under center or in the shotgun, if you will, if it's going to be Lewis or if it's going to be Matt Carlisle.
Yeah, and I think this is the most pivotal drive of the game because you left the points out there right before the half. You've left points out there a few times. You have to get points here.
Yeah, that's a great point. You have things that you can tell your team in halftime. Coach O goes in there. You have positive things that you can point to. but you've got to sustain those positive things, and that's what College of San Mateo has done. They've done a couple of good things, done a couple of more good things, come up with some big plays, come up with the 4 big plays when the Beavers put it on the turf twice and threw it to the wrong team twice. And so College of San Mateo showing why they're the number 2 ranked team in the state is they have been very, very impressive here in the first 30 minutes.
Yeah, and a lot of credit to San Mateo. I mean, their game plan has been terrific. They've executed it well, and they've had a few wrenches thrown in it too. American River's brought some pressure and had some good plays, but they settle in, they relax, and they go out there and take what the American River gives them, convert a few big third downs. They've been impressive.
Yeah, Joshua Moore, kind of a breakout first half for the American River College Beavers from the running back. Robert Freeman had one big play, one big kickoff return. Unfortunately, they could not turn that into points, but those are 2 of the guys that American River has that you can say are playmakers. Joshua Moore we just saw today for the first time, but Freeman we've seen in the first game against Sac City. He had punt return, he had a kickoff return, looked very impressive. So they're going to try to get the ball in the hands of those guys, but it's getting the ball to them. It's that procedure, that process that has been a little wanting so far as we start the second half with Gabe Placencia kicking it off for the Bulldogs. And here we go. It's a short kick, going to be fair caught and dropped by the Beavers, picked up. I don't know if they can advance that because they called for the fair catch and then botched it. So where the other Beaver lineman is, where he picked it up is going to be where it is. So I think that Placencia, Jordan, was a little bit wary of Robert Freeman and Julian Davis back there.
Yeah, I think he saw what Freeman's done on that big return on those few reverses and decided we're not going to put the ball in his hands anymore.
Looks like they were marked at the 20-yard line and trying to see which quarterback it is.
Looks like that's Carlisle
Looks
out there.
like Matt Carlisle back out there for the Beavers out of Newark Catholic. Matt at 6'4" and 215. He is running back to his left. It looks like Joshua Moore, wide receiver right and left. He's going to fake that and take it up the middle. It's an option play. He faked it to Moore going around the right side and took it right back up the middle, maybe about a 2-yard gain.
Kind of weaseled his way through a little hole there that he found, and good job of Carlisle there making something out of nothing.
Yeah, sometimes you find a quarterback who has a couple of good runs, and then all of a sudden he decides the option is his every time. I don't think we're in that situation yet, but the first one, maybe they thought that the defense would follow more because of the success he had in the first half. So 2nd and 8 on the 22-yard line. And they're running it again as Carlisle up at the 25-26. He meets a horde of tacklers. Everybody's trying to push everybody forward. They're pushing Carlisle forward. Nobody's done pushing. No whistles so far. It is, as we say, a rugby scrum. It ends up at the 32-yard line, and Jordan, one of the strangest plays I've ever seen.
It doesn't feel that strange to me because as a former college rugby player, that just felt right at home for me.
They moved it 6 yards. They moved the thing, and then they let a guy come in later and push him further.
The rugby player in me says that is beautiful. That's what football needs to be. It's pure.
Maybe if they do that again, we'll have to have you break it down in rugby stats. But anyway, we have a first down, a run by Carlisle, gained 10 yards. It's first down at the 34-yard line. Give him 12 yards on the play. Barnes moving over to the left side now as Moore flares out to the left. The pass is out to Moore. He's got a little bit of room. Barnes with the tackle. Good pursuit, as we've talked about, and a gain of about 3 or 4 yards for the Beavers.
The Beavers are finding ways to get that ball moving through the air, and maybe, even though you're not getting a bunch, you're making them respect the passing game a little bit. Maybe that opens up the run.
Yeah, 3-yard gain on the play, 2nd and 7. That's the kind of a quick shot out to the running back that good pursuit, but Barnes laid a good block in the backfield to allow him for the 3-yard gain. So 2 receivers out to the right on 2nd down. Carlisle turns around, hands it off up the middle to Moore. He's going to get about a yard, maybe 2 if I stretch it, but a bunch of different Bulldogs in on the tackle.
Yeah, it looks like that was led by number 97, Kavika Bumgardner. Kind of led the charge on that. Moore, got what he could out of it, but a good defensive line again by the Bulldogs.
Looks like about a 3rd and 6 now from the 38-yard line for the Beavers as they face a third down in this first series of the third quarter. 12:34 to go in the third quarter. Bulldogs lead 24-0. Carlisle in the gun. He's going to go back to pass. Has good protection. Tries to throw it across the middle. Completes it, but it's going to be down at about the 40 or 41-yard line. So not close to the first down. I think it might even have been waved off as a completion. We got the line judge coming in from the side, and he picks the ball up. And either way, complete or incomplete, it's going to be fourth down for the Beavers. So they go 3 and out in this. Actually, they get one first down, and then they go 3 and out.
Carlisle took a shot there on the release. I believe that was Bumgarner again that came in flying through that line. Good pressure by the Bulldogs, forced a rushed play, and another defensive stand for San Mateo.
Looks like the pattern that time was exactly what they wanted it to be, but the Bulldogs had a defender right on Joshua Moore. So the punt by Basivinich, and he puts the right foot into it. Gets a bounce to the left, right around the 20-yard line. He's going to go out of bounds at the 18-yard line of the Bulldogs. That's where they'll start their first series of the second half. So, Jordan, I'd say by the measure of what we were talking about at halftime, not a real good start for the Beavers in the second half.
No, not a real good start, but you like that you got the friendly bounce on that punt. Maybe your defense can go out and make another stand. They got to be rested after halftime, but you got to keep them off the field as much as possible after how much they played in that first half.
Well, you're calling upon them to make a big stop here because the offense couldn't get anything done besides that one run that they used the entire team on. The rugby scrum first down, we're calling it. Hits first down at the 18. Richie Watts in a quarterback. He's got one running back behind him. Single receiver out to the left and right. The handoff to that running back, cuts it back, goes out to the side. He's going to get himself about a 6-yard gain there. It'll be 2nd and 4 for the Bulldogs.
I believe that was Molina that got the carry, or Maleni, I believe, that got the carry. Good little move by him, get 5 yards and make it a second manageable.
Yeah, it gives your quarterback a lot of options on second down when you pick up 6 on the first down. So 2nd and 4 from the 26-yard line. Bulldogs lead 24-0. We're in the third quarter from Beaver Stadium here on the campus of American River College. Watts with the receiver out to the left, comes back into the formation. Now he rolls to his left, steps back. He's looking for a receiver all the way across the field, and it's a little bit too far for a receiver. Number 44, it looks like, trying to cross the field all the way from right to left, and it was overthrown.
Yeah, I was looking for Colin Griffin, his big tight end target. He's got 2 receptions, 22 yards, and 2 touchdowns. But good pressure brought on by the Beavers. I believe that came from Abdul Mukibi.
Well, Griffin probably didn't want to make that catch and ruin his touchdown to reception ratio.
Well, I mean, smart play.
That's a smart play. Third down and 4 yards to go here. They've got to get to the 29-yard line, so make it 3rd and 3. Watts with one back behind him. Got a lot of options. He's going to go for the short pass across the middle. He's got a receiver open. He makes a sidestep, misses. He's going down the middle of the field. A couple of Beavers converge on him, but it is a big gain as Lucas Sartorio makes the tackle, but a big game on a short pass by the Bulldogs, and they'll set up shop 1st and 10. It looks like at the 27-yard line of the Beavers.
That was Terrence Saki on the reception, and looked like when he got in the open field, he almost felt like Ricky Bobby doing the interview, didn't know what to do with his hands. He's like, I've never been this open before. What do I do?
Yeah, he sidestepped one tackler, and yeah, you're right. The middle of the field opened up, and he just took off down it, and Beavers finally pulled him down at the 27, so a big gain, and first down for Richie Watts and the Bulldogs. Got the single running back behind him. And we're going to have a flag on the play.
I believe we actually had a timeout called before.
Probably to give him a little bit of time to rest there as that big play like you mentioned. So, Jordan, we talked about it at halftime, and everything we talked about has not come true. So they came down and one first down, but the Beavers forced to punt, and then the big play on 3rd down, as you pointed out. Now, that was a 3rd and 3, so it's much more manageable. But as you pointed out, haven't been able to get off the field on 3rd down.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that was Saki kind of snuck behind him. The Beavers brought the blitz. They blitzed both middle linebackers, and that's going to leave a slot receiver or receiver to be open in the middle of the field, and a good job by Watts to recognize that, stand cool under pressure, and deliver the strike there.
Yeah, he is able to stand cool under pressure. Now, he hasn't had a lot of pressure. I think he's had 1 sack today, so he doesn't have to get a lot of pressure, but he is able to kind of have time and give credit to his offensive line. He is able to kind of survey the field when he needs to, and some of these patterns that take a little bit longer to develop, he has time to get that receiver out there.
Yeah, and we talked about the efficiency that he has, and I've been so impressed with the way he's commanding this game. He's calling audibles at the line of scrimmage. He looks so comfortable running this Bulldog offense, and it's been proven with how they've moved the ball in the first half.
But with the crazy COVID thing and all the different years and eligibilities and stuff, I'm not surprised that we see a guy who really is a quarterback with a lot of experience and really a lot of game experience, and he goes out there and can really command the field.
I absolutely agree.
So he's in the shotgun now with one running back behind him, and the ball is a bad snap. It's fumbled back there and picked up. I think that's Molina, and he is going to be tackled on the 34-yard line. So just a very bad snap that time by the Bulldogs, and they will be facing a big second down here.
Now, I couldn't tell, too, what Molina did, but it looked like when the snap got to him, I couldn't tell if his arms were moving forward and he batted the ball forward and then it bounced off Watts to himself, but crisis averted there by the Bulldogs in the backfield.
Almost the break that the Beavers needed, the one we've been talking about, the turnover, but the ball now at the 34-yard line. So 2nd and 17. Watts with Mulleny behind him. He's going to go for the quick out. He's got a receiver over there. It is complete, but for just a couple of yards, bring up a big 3rd down.
Looks like that was Jeremiah Patterson. And again, another new name we're calling on a reception. I believe that's 5 or 6 different guys that have reeled in a catch now.
We've had East and Patterson and Pierce and Murphy and a couple of other ones, Giffen as well, the tight end. But you're right, the way that he has spread it out, you see it in the professional level, you get guys that don't worry about which guy they throw it to, and those are the guys who are the most effective. So 3rd and 13 at the 30. Have to get down to the 17-yard line, do the Bulldogs. Wide right, 3 to the left. He's going to go to the right, cuts it across the middle, and it's complete, but it is knocked down and tackled at about the 20-yard line. So the slant is complete, but just a couple yards short on 4th down.
Yeah, now Jaden Dixon-Veal reeling that one in. It looks like the field goal unit's going to trot out. So if you're the Beavers, after giving up that big play, I think you're happy holding them to 3.
If you're the Beavers, I think you are happy. But if you're the Bulldogs and you're looking to go far in the, I know this is early, but they're state number 2 ranked, so they're looking to go far. And I think, now they're going to actually go for it. It looks like.
Yeah, you got 2 linemen lined up at fullback.
Yeah, and you've got a guy under center now, no shotgun. You got 4th and 2. Maybe they're trying. He's going to go for the quarterback sneak, and I don't know. The Beavers look like they might have stopped him. I don't think the rugby scrum's going to get him across. I think the Beavers might have held, Jordan.
I think they did hold him. That's even better than holding him to 3. Hold him to 0. Why don't you?
It's an odd call, though, don't you think? As far as if you're the Bulldogs, you've got all kinds of weapons and all kinds of things you can do, and to go ahead and go with that play, it seemed a little weird to me.
Well, in the the yardage you had left, too. I felt like you would have maybe done a run up the middle, but not a QB sneak. But what I did like is seeing Gabe Martin, the offensive lineman, lined up out there at fullback. There's a small part of me, Phantom, that I wanted to see Martin get the ball there.
All right, well, we have one guy down for College of San Mateo, so we will have a break, and it looks like he's back up to a sitting position, so that is good news. Yeah, good point. It was 4th and 3, not 4th and 1. So when you're going ahead and you're going to put your linemen, your beefy guys back in the backfield and stuff, trying to get 3 yards, and then he didn't even use those guys because he went up under center and tried to quarterback sneak it. So odd from a couple of different standpoints as we wait for the injured player. Hopefully, as we said, he'll be okay. But all in all, a good stop for the Beavers, like you said, Jordan.
Yeah, big stop for the Beavers. But now, again, I feel like a broken record saying this, but you need to turn this stop into points on the other end. Your defense is held tall, but you're down 24-0, and you got to score more than 24 if you want to win this game.
Yeah, and after this game, you got more games. You got a game next Sunday. We're home against, I believe it's Modesto. We'll be here broadcasting on the Stones Radio Networks, giving you some more American River College football on the American River College Athletics YouTube. But more importantly, that one, then you got a couple of road games coming up. You've got to go ahead and maybe – in the last, 23 minutes of this game, you got to establish some sort of identity as an offensive football team, and that has been lacking. Yeah, a little bit of identity running the ball, but that's not going to take you all the way. So I think what the Beavers need to do is kind of put something on the board here or get something in the memory banks that's successful that they can live with.
Yeah, American River's faced the gauntlet to start the season. I mean, San Mateo, number 2 in the state, Laney, number 6, and Fresno, number 20. So it's not like they're playing cupcakes. They're playing tough teams, but 1-3 is still a tough start no matter who you played.
So Carlisle's still in there for the Beavers. He is going to hand that one off. No, he's going to hold on to it. He's looking to the right, goes over the middle. It is complete, and the tackle is made, about a 9-yard gain. Good pass right over the middle to number 88. That's Ian Simpson. So a good throw for the Beavers on first down.
Yeah, Ian Simpson, the Whitney High School product. Great catch there. He had that big reception for the Beavers in the game-winning drive against Sac City a couple weeks ago.
Oh, that was a tremendous play. The old misdirection play. So second down. The handoff to Moore. He's going to get through, and I think he's going to get the first down as he is retired or taken down at about the 30. No need for him to retire yet. He's still a young man. So that is going to be a first down.
If you're the Beavers, that's what you want to see. You want to see those first downs, and you want to see them starting to move the ball, especially if you're the Beaver defense.
Yeah, and the thing that keyed that was that successful pass, a pass that was caught by Simpson that got you in position where on second down you could do the pass or a run. So we'll see if they can build on that with Carlisle and Moore in the backfield. 2 out to the left. On the 30-yard line, the fake is to Moore. Rolling out is Carlisle. He's going to step it up about the 34-yard line and get out of play. Actually, the clock is going to continue to run. So Carlisle picks up about 4 yards on that. He rolled to the short side, Jordan, so not a lot of room for him.
Yeah, not a lot of room, but, he did a good job getting 4 yards. 2nd and 6 is a manageable, definitely a better look than 2nd and 10. One thing Carlisle's done a good job of is selling that play action. I mean, he's fooling us up here, so you're doing a good job. You fool the broadcasters.
Yeah, he does. I mean, Lewis was very successful running it also, but Carlisle seems more natural, seems more comfortable actually running the ball. So let's see what happens on 2nd and 6. 6:56 to go in the third quarter. And off to fake, and he's going to hold on to it and go back up the middle again. And that time he'll get brought down at about the 37-yard line. The fake to Moore, the keeper by Carlisle. He's going to set up a third and about 3, maybe a long 3, is another third down, Jordan, for the Beavers.
The big question here, if you don't get this third down, which we know coming into this game 4:38 on third is tough. You're down 24-0 middle in the third quarter. Is this 4-down territory?
It's a good question. I don't know the answer. Usually you could say an adamant yeah, but I mean in this situation I don't think you don't want to give the Bulldogs a short field. So third down, 3 yards to go on the 37. Got to get to the 40. That is fake. He's going to hold on to it again, and that was not the right choice. And then we have a penalty coming in late on the play, but brought down for a loss of 2 was Matt Carlisle. He had Moore coming across, made the fake to him, but there was no room for either one of them actually on that one, Jordan.
Carlisle came up with his helmet off, and I'm wondering if they're going to get I was going to say, I wonder if they're going to get him for a face mask, and that's a killer if you're San Mateo, because you picked up a huge stop and you just gave the Beavers a free 15 yards.
A little surprise on that play to see the Beavers run the option?
Not as much to see them run the option, but I don't think Carlisle made the right read on that. I think Moore should have gotten it. I mean, obviously it's easier said than done.
Right.
Defense reacts to where the ball goes, but felt like Moore had a little more running room on the outside.
On 3rd and 3, I would think that he was a guy who you could give the ball to so far. So here we are, first down, 49-yard line of the Bulldogs. Carlisle in there at quarterback with Moore to his left. 2 receivers out the left, a low snap. He goes back. He's going to go all the way across the field, and that would have been intercepted. I don't think he caught it. I thought he scooped it up on a hop. Jordan, what did you see?
I thought it might have been on a hop, but the referee's pointing out their way, and I think they're going to call that a pick. That's Tyrese Ivy Jr.
Yeah, he went out to the left, and there was no way. Ivy Jr. was in position. I thought the ball bounced up to him, but the call is interception on the field, and it's going to be first down for the Bulldogs on their own 48-yard line. So turnover number 5, and again, a pass thrown that we think maybe shouldn't have been thrown.
Yeah, another pass shouldn't have been thrown. Like you said, you could say it bounced or didn't bounce all you want, but you shouldn't have put it in a position for it to be that.
Yeah, so there we go. It's still unable to establish any kind of medium passing game, and it's taken over by the Bulldogs, and the Beaver defense is back on the field.
One thing you take solace in if you're the Beaver defense is at least you got a little bit of a rest there. The Beavers move the ball.
A little bit of a rest, but not as much as you wanted to have. Maybe you wanted 3 or 4 more minutes and put some points up on the board. Watts is going to hand it off. Looks like that is Evans back there, and he is out of bounds after a short gain of about, we'll call it 5 yards, set up a 2nd and 5.
One thing you got to watch with that interception now is, especially at this stage in the game, that could be one of those things that's just demoralizing for the Beavers.
Right, and they can't take more demoralization in this game, and the gain is only going to be a gain of 2 on the play, so it'll be 2nd and 8 from midfield. Watts in the shotgun. Evans behind him. He's got a receiver out to the left and one split out to the right as well. Other one on the left is coming back in closer to the formation as he fakes the handoff. He looks down the middle. He wants to go deep. Now he's going to go off to his running back who's got it. Good closure by the Beaver defense. It's about a gain of 4. It's going to set up a 3rd and 4 for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, good job by Watts to, look out there, find there was nothing there, nothing he loved, hit his check down, and make it a 3rd and short.
Came back, and he did find Evans, and it was a good pass, but a good job by the Beavers defenders as they were quick. And there have been a couple of times that the Bulldogs have gotten away from that first tackler and made big games. That time the Beavers closed it down. So 3rd and probably closer to 3 for the first down. Watts in the shotgun, standing at midfield. He's got it looking for the short pass. Now he's under pressure a little bit, rolls to his right, trying to pick up a receiver, throws it, and that is out of bounds. I don't see any flags or anything, so that is going to bring up a 4th down.
We do have one at midfield. I think they might get a hold, though. A lot of times on those rollout passes, you'll get a hold on the O-line.
Well, let's see if that's what it is. If not, or if it is, the Beavers again with another good stop unless they take the penalty and give them another chance. So we'll see what the Beavers decide to do as the Bulldogs are moving back. And I think you're right, Jordan. I think we've got ourselves a holding penalty.
We got another flag, too, after that play, and I believe this is going to really set them back because I think that one might have been a unsportsmanlike conduct.
Something against the sideline, perhaps? That's where
like
the flag was
warning.
dropped. Yeah. Well, this is a game where I've seen the most odd running play I've seen in a long time, the rugby scrum first down, and I've also seen more sideline warnings than I've ever seen before.
Yeah, I don't know if it's maybe, egregious sideline warnings or these refs are just taught to be, really tight about it and make sure teams stay in their areas.
What is it with the unruly sidelines with these kids today? That's the question you got to ask.
Back in my day.
Back in your day, you stayed on the sideline, you were quiet. So let's see, we got 3rd down, and we've got to get to the 42, so that makes it about 18 yards to go here. And this is a play, Jordan, you've talked about it many times already today. 3rd down, big 3rd down, and you got to get off the field.
And it almost feels like the Beavers have fared better on 3rd and short than they have on 3rd and long.
It really does.
It's got to be a frustrating thing if you're a Beaver fan watching a defense where you feel better on 3rd and 3 than you do on 3rd and 15.
Let's see if they try to bring pressure on 3rd and long. Usually you don't do that. You drop guys back and you try to keep the big gain, and it looks like
I believe we're getting a timeout.
I don't know. I think we might have had, it may not have been, they might have, I'm going to guess, since they just replaced the entire team, either they're going to let the second team play or they're going to punt.
Yeah, it looks like the down marker is at 4 now, which
okay,
is...
that doesn't make much. Well, I mean, it was 3rd down. Maybe the penalty that was taken was the sideliner. It was taken after the play. So the down is 4th down now. So that's the way you get out of 3rd downs is you don't play them. You make them 4th downs.
I would say if you're the Beavers, you should try to do that every possession.
And now we're moving the other way as we're going to make the ball at the 50-yard line. So I have to confess being confused.
I'm right there with you, Phantom.
Someone said it might be a delay of game on the defense, which you don't see that every day, but I'm not going to swear to that yet. But we do have the punter in punt formation.
I did see the Beaver coach on the field, so that could be the situation.
That could be it. Punt is out, and it's going to go over to the right about at the 15-yard line, coming up at about the 20-yard line. So punted out at about the 20. Good job by the Beaver defense again, Jordan. We've said that several times, but now the offense has to do their part and come out and put something up on the board.
Yeah, it looks like we have Lewis out there, and that's the quarterback that we've seen throw the ball a little more. So I think the Beavers might be opting to put that ball in the air in this drive.
Well, I think when you're down, it's 24-0, but there's only 4 minutes left here in the 3rd quarter. I don't know that even though the run has been successful, I don't know that you can continue to use it down 3.5 touchdowns, if you will. So Lewis The Rockland product is back there. He's got one running back to his right. We'll get a number and identify him. We think it's Josh Moore. And he goes ahead to fakes it to Moore, hits the slant, and that is Freeman, who gets away from a couple, and he's going down the right sideline, 40, 50. He stops. He comes back against the grain to the 40. He does it again. Now he does a little spin move, kind of like a Three Stooges thing, and they get him at the 40-yard line. So Freeman, again, as we say all the time, Jordan, that's the big play guy.
That's the man you need to put the ball in his hands. He can inject some life into this offense like he's done twice now. Great job bouncing off those tackles, and it looked like made of rubber out there. They couldn't bounce him.
Quick slant to get it to Freeman, and then, as you mentioned, two guys hit him, and Freeman, not the biggest guy, but bounced right off him and went down the right sideline. I thought he might be able to break it, but there were about three defenders who had the angle on him, so he just cuts it back against the grain and gets the big play, and it's first down on the 40. And injured Bulldog is helped off the field.
I believe that's Ivy, the man that got the interception last drive.
So Ivy, the defensive back, and a placement comes in for him. We hope he is okay, as a couple of subs come in for the defense of the Bulldogs. First down. So just a short pitch and catch, but Freeman doing all the work on that one. A 40-yard gain on the play, and it's first down. Lewis is going to hand it off to Josh Moore, who rolls out to the right to the 40, to the 35, and he tries to hurdle a guy in the 32 and gets to the 30-yard line.
And, I think when American River brought in Moore to bring more power running, I think we saw the stiff arms. I don't think he thought the hurdles would be coming in.
I didn't think, you bring him in for the big backs, but you don't see the big backs doing the hurdling. But he has injected some life, I think you'll agree, Jordan, into this running attack. And now it's 2nd and 1, and this is a situation with 3:20 left. Obviously, you got to move quickly, but you can do either run or pass in the 2nd and 1 situation. Lewis in a shotgun, standing on the 35-yard line. He's got Moore behind him. Comes back to pass. He's got a little time now. He's got to roll away. He's got room to run if he wants to, and he keeps it down. He fakes it, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds, but he will get the first down at about the 22. And, Jordan, I kind of thought that he had lost sight of the line of scrimmage and maybe was going to let one fly.
I thought so, too. I think everyone up here was holding their breath or cringing like, no, don't throw it, just tuck it. And I want to talk about that great block there. I believe that was number 61 for the Beavers. Really opened up that running lane for Lewis. It looks like it was Christopher Sutherland out of Wheatland.
Yeah, he rolls to his left, got that one block, and then tried to he wanted to get the pass, but went with the run and got the first down. So 1st and 10 on the 25. He rolls off to his right. He's under pressure, comes back to his left, tries to get rid of it. The ball's on the ground. I think the Beavers covered it, though, and it is going to be called a fumble, and the Beavers will this time pounce on it.
That's the last thing you wanted after a few big plays is now you have, one. Thankfully, you didn't turn it over, but one bad play all of a sudden puts you out of scoring position.
All of a sudden, you're 2nd and 24, and instead of you had that momentum with the Freeman play, and then you got the Josh Moore run and the run by Lewis, and then you go ahead and get the fumble. And this time, fortunately for the Beavers, they were able to fall on it. One of the linemen back there, but looks like that was one of those pass plays that took a little too long to develop, and good pressure by the Bulldogs to set up this 2nd and long from the 39. Lewis in the shotgun. He's going to hand it to Moore. That's the reverse again to Freeman going around the left side. He ducks back, goes out to the outside, comes back to the middle, and he is finally tackled at about the 27-yard line. And Jordan, if he's nothing else, he is exciting, and also he got back a good chunk of yardage.
Yeah, good chunk of yards. Still looking at 3rd and long, but 3rd and 12 is a lot nicer than 3rd and 24.
Yeah, and I've seen, I think, 3 reverses now we've seen today, so we're seeing that a lot, and I do think that we talked about it before. Getting the ball in Freeman's hands is important, and the Beavers are trying to do that as much as possible. So 3rd down, 12 yards to go on the 28-yard line, showing blitz from the Bulldogs, and now Lewis looking over to the sidelines. Matt Carlisle looks like signaling in the next player formation. And that's going to be an offsides on the Beavers. Throw his left side. Nice catch over there, and there's a penalty on there. So there may be 2 penalties on the play as the Beaver slot receiver took off too soon. Although I didn't see the flag thrown for that, Jordan. We're going to have a couple of penalties, and we are going to have a pass interference on the Bulldogs.
Yeah, we know one's pass interference. The question is, what's the other one? Is this going to be both on the Bulldogs, or is this going to be offsetting?
Well, I mean, I don't like to say bad about the team that we're broadcasting for, but he was clearly offside. So
Yeah.
it doesn't look like – it looks like it's going to go all the Beavers' way, though, as they got that fumble. And since then, a good play by Freeman and now a break on a pass interference. And the Beavers look to have the ball now on about the 15-yard line.
Yeah, and this is big. Beavers just 1 touchdown in 8 red zone appearances. That's something you're going to have to correct if you want to get the wins back.
See, I think it's third down here. No, I think we have the stick still over there as a third down and 1, but the pass interference might have been a first down. I think that's what it's going to be. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Beavers. The ball sitting right around the 15, 16-yard line there of the Bulldogs. So mark that down on the bingo card too, Jordan. Clearly offsides. So everybody from College of San Mateo up here in the booth, our guy Steven over there, everybody just jumped up in the air and started yelling. And Jordan told him to be quiet. Here's Lewis. He's going to fake it to Riley. Lewis keeps it going to right side, and he is leveled. It looked like he was going into a slide, and he was leveled by the Bulldog defender with a gain of 2.
Yeah, it looked like he almost went into the slide at the same time the contact was made
Yeah.
for an awkward-looking hit. And, that's a tough one because it looked like, again, a read that maybe wasn't quite the right read. It looked like Casey Riley might have had the better lane to run through.
Yeah, it's hard to go into that slide, too. Once you get 2 yards into the defensive backfield, all of a sudden you decide you're going to slide. You've got guys launching themselves at you, so that's a tough one. So 2nd down, 7 yards to go. Lewis, the running back behind him, he's going to fake that. He's going to look to the right side, roll to the left. He's got nobody out there. He throws it away on the left side. So that was actually a smart move, Jordan. He had nobody there, and he had pressure, so he threw it away.
I think Beavers learning from a few of those mistakes they made earlier in the game. Don't force something that's not there. I mean, that play broke down immediately. Great coverage, and good job by Lewis to recognize it.
Yeah, rolls at the left. I don't know how many guys the Beavers had out in that pattern because the receiver that he was eventually looking for ended up close to the middle of the end zone. So there was nobody else over on that side. Looks like Carlisle is coming in. Hopefully Lewis is okay after taking that hit on the run earlier. We have a 3rd and 7 from the 12-yard line. Just 2 seconds to go here in the third quarter. The Bulldogs with the 24-0 lead. And I was wondering about that, Jordan. Lewis took quite the hit on that short run, and he might be feeling the effects of it as Carlisle comes in. Casey Riley, the running back from Orville, to his right. Receivers out to the left, one to the right. He's going to go to the right, gets it up to Barnes, but it is intercepted in the end zone as Barnes looked to be pushed to the ground as the ball was in the air, and he went to the ground, and the interception is made by the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I think Barnes wanted the pass interference call. I don't know if it was necessarily enough to get it. I think they're both kind of leveraging off each other, and then Barnes goes to the ground, and the DB goes up in the air, and great play by the Bulldogs again. Another red zone stand. That's 0 for 2 in the red zone now for the Beavers.
0 for 2 in the red zone and another turnover for the Beavers. And so we go to the end of the third quarter. We come back for the start of the fourth quarter with the score: College of San Mateo 24, American River College nothing. You're watching American River College Athletics on YouTube, presented by the Stones Radio Networks.
American River College is a top-tier community college sports program that provides student athletes with the opportunity to thrive both athletically and academically. ARC Athletics is currently ranked 5th in the state and 2nd in Northern California. With over 19 sports programs, our athletes compete with the region's best athletes. Our diverse and dedicated coaching staff helps athletes develop the skills necessary to compete at the next level. Start your community college athletics journey with us. American River College, Sacramento's best athletic program. Go Beavers.
Back for fourth quarter action as I turn on the wrong microphone. 24-0 in favor of College of San Mateo. They come up with the interception in the end zone, the 5th turnover by the Beavers today. But you watch the quarterback in the shotgun, one running back behind him. He hands it off to the running back, goes to the left side, squirts through, still on his feet, gets all the way out to the 32-yard line. It'll be a first down for the College of San Mateo.
Yeah, I believe that was Ezra Maleni there. Good job breaking through. And at this point now, if you're the Bulldogs, if the put-away drive hasn't already happened, this is your put-away drive and wear them down drive.
Yeah, Malini, as you say, 241 coming in on the ground, and Juwan Evans 222, so a tremendous 1-2 punch for the Bulldogs. They get the first down on the 12-yard run by Malini. Watts directing traffic, which he does a lot, moving his tight end over to the right side of the formation, his wide out to the left side. And he's going to come back. He's going to throw a short pass out to the left side. It's caught. Evades the tackles up near the 43-yard line, and I think they got out to the 43, which would be another first down for the College of San Mateo.
Looks like that was Jemai East reeling in the reception there. Good job making some guys miss, getting those extra yards, and now you're looking at 2nd and 1.
So he got a 9-yard gain on that one. So as Jordan says, 2nd and 1 from the 42-yard line. 14 minutes to go in the ball game. Bulldogs 24 and the Beavers nothing.
Looks like it's actually going to be a first down.
They're going to give him the first down, so that 9 becomes 10 mysteriously. And now Watts in the shotgun again. Puts his wide receiver in motion, moves him in closer. It didn't look like he was set. He's going back to pass. Good pressure by the Beavers, and the sack is recorded. A loss of about 7 yards.
That was Kean Sloan shooting out of the gate there. Great job by him. Great pursuit. Grab those ankles, get the sack. I believe that's number 7 now on the year for him.
Yeah, Kean Sloan, we talked about him before the game. 8.5 tackles for loss and 6 sacks coming into today, and a nice sack right there for number 7, setting up a 2nd and 17 now from the 34-yard line. Watts sends one receiver wide out to the right. Short side is the left. He's got one out that way as well. He's going to hand it off to the left side. It's going to be a nice play by the Beavers to bring down, I believe that's Molina out there, and he's going to have just about a short gain, maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah, I believe so. And, at this point, I think San Mateo's main objective on this drive is to just wear it down, kill some clock, get out of here healthy, and get out of here with a win.
Yeah, there we go. I think it's so they're 2nd down now and 18 to go. No, it should be 3rd down. It is 3rd down. They changed the scoreboard. So 3rd down, and Jordan, this is what you've been talking about all day. Let's see with 3rd and about 17 what Watts pulls out of his hat over there. He's going to go back to pass. He's under pressure. Again, a lot of pressure, and it is another sack for the American River College Beavers as they are all over Richie Watts back at the 20.
And that was Kai Wallen, the Jesuit boy, 6'6", 230. That's a big man coming at you if you're Watts. Good stand for the Beavers. Good job getting that pass rush on him.
Yeah, big week for Kai Wallen. According to Twitter, he's got offered from Utah and I think San Diego State this week. So they are seeing what we're seeing right there. A big guy just coming into his own, and that is going to force a punt. So a tremendous series by the Beavers with a couple of sacks here. Little surprised that Watts was going to put it up as many times as he did in that series, but 11:50 to go. Punt formation back is Freeman's been doing the punt returns, and that one is a good-looking punt all the way back. It's going to send Robert back. He's going to catch it back on the 20, trying to get some room, but good pressure. Runs into his own guy, and then is tackled. He got through 2 Bulldogs, ran into his own guy, and was retired on the 22.
Yeah, it looks like they were a little frustrated with that one there because he split those 2 defenders, and just a little miscommunication, I think, on where Freeman was going, but big return kind of saved for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I mean, when you have a guy like Freeman, you want to get in a position to give the block that springs him, but you don't always know where he's going. So it's kind of hard to kind of plan that out. So on the 21-yard line now, and let's see which of the quarterbacks. I believe it is Carlisle, Jordan.
Yeah, it's tough to tell from this angle. I'm only seeing the small number on the sleeve.
Well, we'll see. We'll find out after this play. First down on the 21. Short pass quickly out there and caught by Freeman, and he is up around the 30-yard line. So a very quick throw out there by the Beavers.
Looks like that was actually Lewis that was in there.
So Lewis is in there. Good to see that he's back after he took that big hit. So a quick hit to Freeman for an 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Be nice for the Beavers. We've talked about this a lot today, but a really nice stand by the defense, a couple of sacks. Come out, get the completion to start it off. Let's see if they can do something on 2nd and 2. It is the handoff, and that is Josh Moore going the left side, picks his way through. It's a nice little gain out there right around the 38-yard line. That is going to be a first down for your American River College Beavers. And Josh Moore coming back again, Jordan, really impressive today.
Yeah, if you're a Beaver fan, you have to be happy with what you've seen from Moore. There have been several times it looks like there's nothing, and all of a sudden Moore is sitting there 4 or 5 yards down the field because he cuts back up and finds a lane where there's nothing.
Yeah, ball marked on the 36, still enough for a first down with 10:32 to go now. as the Beavers looking to the sidelines to get their to get the play. Started at the 20, now they're out at the 36. 24-0 in favor of the Bulldogs. Lewis in at quarterback. He's going to play the option, fake it to Moore. He's got a little bit of room at the 40, 45, 50, 45, 40. A couple of tacklers get him out of bounds, but again, Lewis with a fine run on that play, and that will give the Beavers another first down.
Great job by Lewis. Great read. Finds the running lane, and another big play for the Beavers, but we've seen this before. The big key is you got to see this drive through.
Yeah, you do, and I also seen that with the when you're running the option play, if you have the opportunity to fake it to Josh Moore, that carries a little bit more weight right now with the College of San Mateo defense. So Lewis, a fine run, gets him down to the 40-yard line. That's a 24-yard gain. He's got Moore behind him. He's going to go back to pass. Good block by Moore. Down the middle, he's got a man open. That's Ian Simpson. He dodges a receiver at the 10-5. He is down right near the goal line. He is down at the 1-yard line. Ian Simpson, the receiver, and the run, big play by the Beavers.
And that's what you love to see, and it looks like got a guy cramping up down there on San Mateo, but saw some D linemen there for the Bulldogs with the hands on the knees, hands on the hips, looking a little winded there, so maybe the Beavers are starting to catch a defense a little off guard.
Very impressive seeing that play. We haven't seen a lot of good pass plays, especially over the middle, and getting the ball to Simpson like Lewis did there. And Simpson, a big guy, but a very nimble run to get all the way down to the 1-yard line. So here we go. First and goal for the Beavers. Jordan has told you the red zone stats, they are not good so far. They'll try to improve them, and now we're going to have a timeout, I think. San Mateo will call the timeout, so we'll stay here, Jordan. 24-0, 9 minutes, 8 seconds to go. A couple of big plays, Joshua Moore, then Kenny Lewis, and now Ian Simpson. So good job by the Beavers to highlight a couple of new guys, get the ball down to the 1-yard line. Obviously, they needed to punch it in there. You'd think that Joshua Moore would be the guy to go to.
Yeah, I think so. Why not ride the hot hand? And I think it's super important to get points on this drive, not just because, it keeps you in the game somewhat, especially if your defense can get another stop, but just building off this, too,
right,
for these next couple weeks. I mean, you have Modesto coming in here next week. That's a team that's no slouch as well. So if you're American River, you need to get something moving, some positive momentum carrying into the next game. If you can pull this one out, which is first and foremost the goal, obviously you go for that, but try to get something you can hang your hat on heading into next week.
Yeah, and I'll say I don't want 3 points. I want 7 points right here. And as you mentioned, Modesto, no slouch. You know something you realize quickly when you get into the junior college athletic world, there are no slouches anywhere. Everybody, especially in football. I mean, you mentioned it before. I think 3 or 4 of the preseason opponents for the Beavers are, ranked in the state, in the top 15 in the state. I mean, Laney and Fresno and San Mateo. So there are no slouches anywhere here in the junior college. You got to come out and bring it every week. And I think you're right, Jordan. I think punching it in says something right now because they've been so close so many times. They've got to go ahead and get one in, and let's see how they do it right here. Under center. And it's going to be the quarterback sneak. They're going to use the rugby play, and I think it's going to be successful. We're looking to the referee to signal, and it is a touchdown. It is a touchdown. And, Jordan, if you see the number of the guy who has the touchdown.
I believe that was number 63.
I don't know if he picked it up after it was run in or what exactly happened, but it is a touchdown for the Beavers, and they are on the board 24-6. The oddest-looking formation I've seen in a long time.
Oddest-looking formation in a while, but, hey, it's 6 points. I think Beavers, you go for 2 here. You cut it to a 2-score game with 9:06 left, and hey, anything's possible. We've seen weirder things happen.
I like when you do math. I think that is really good. I like the way you did that. You kind of boiled that down to a 2-possession game. So let's see what Kenny Lewis. It looks like it's Casey Riley out there in the backfield behind him. So Josh Moore not on the field. Robert Freeman looks like he is entering the game, so he is going to go off to the left side as the Beavers indeed are going to go for 2, like Jordan suggested they do. So it's Lewis in the shotgun with Riley next to him. He's going to take the snap at about the 8-yard line. As they go for 2, he's going to roll to his right, try to pick somebody out, throws to the corner, knocked away by the College of San Mateo defender, and it will be no good on the PAT, and so we have 9:06 to go, and our score, College of San Mateo 24, American River College Beavers 6.
I think Bulldogs got lucky with that one there. Their defense looked a little off guard when they snapped that ball, and then Simpson actually looked like he might have been open in the back of the end zone from this angle, but looked like Lewitt was going with Barnes. He liked the matchup that he saw, and just a good defensive play by San Mateo.
Yeah, I think on the rollout, it might have had somebody right away. It's hard because you're trying to pick somebody out when you're rolling out, and it's not easy, especially in a confined space like that. But, yeah, if I had Simpson the play he already turned in, I probably would have looked for him first. But give the Beavers credit on a really good drive. We've been talking about it all day, Jordan. They need a drive. They need a drive. They need a drive. The defense came up big with 2 sacks. Now the defense is rested, and the American River offense did the drive we wanted.
Yeah, now the defense has a chance to make the play. And, it's still a 3-score game now, but defense has a chance to get a stop. American River can go down there, get some more points, and this could be a ball game, or at least a result that you can have some positive momentum heading into Modesto next week.
Yeah, because if I'm American River College, even if I fall short of the win here, I'm playing fourth quarter. Who won the fourth quarter? I'm going to try to tell my guys we're going to win that fourth quarter. I've already got 2 sacks from my defense. I've got a couple of big plays from my offense. So far, fourth quarter, I'm looking good. And now let's see what they can do defensively as they kick off to the Bulldogs. Zach Schreiner will be doing the kicking, I believe, and he will put his right foot into it, and he does. Goes down toward the goal line, picked up at about the 3-yard line, coming right up the middle, and now that ball is fumbled. It's on the ground, and I think the Bulldogs have fell on it at the 16.
Another crisis averted by the Bulldogs.
Came up, and he's trying to make his turn, trying to make his cut, and it looked like the ball just flew out, and I thought there was a Beaver defender right there, but he didn't see it, and the Bulldogs covered it.
That could have been the break the Beavers needed to really turn this game upside down. And, we saw it last Sunday in the NFL. I think we had several comeback wins. It'd be kind of nice to see the Beavers bring one back here.
Well, it would have been nice, even for what we were talking about just the fourth quarter, go ahead and when you do good things, then good things happen. And that would be that kind of a thing. And now the defense is going to go out and try to make things happen again against Richie Watts and the Bulldog offense. 9:01 to go in the ball game, 24-6 San Mateo. Little drop pass and great defense by the Beavers. Flipped over to number 7. That is Joanne Evans, but he is hit behind the line of scrimmage by the Beavers defense.
That was Dom Spence, a Whitney High product, so some Whitney kids making some big plays for the Beavers here in the fourth quarter.
That's that play the Packers do a lot where they have the wide receiver come around and Rogers just pops it up to him, a little bit of a flip. But good defense on the weak side by Dom Spence and the Beavers, and it brings up a 2nd down and 13 yards to go, with the ball now resting on about the 13-yard line. Watts in the shotgun. He's going to look to pass to his left. Now he comes over to his right. He's going to run it. And good pursuit by the Beavers. Watts is going to be hit by about 3 different guys right around the 20-yard line. So looked like a pass to start, but I think it might have been a called run, Jordan.
Yeah, I think it might have been. It was kind of sold to fake it, and then the Beavers, one guy did a good job reading it, and then Beavers recovered well and ended up bringing up another 3rd down.
Yeah, good job by American River College. Good pursuit there because Watts has not actually done that a lot where he goes back to pass and then turns it into a run. He's run away from pressure, but not a called run. So big play obviously right here. Ball resting on the 20. Have to get to the 27, which mathematically makes it 3rd and 7 for College of San Mateo. 7:35 and counting here in the fourth quarter. Bulldogs 24, Beavers 6. Watts with 1 running back behind him. He's going to go back to pass and look to go out to the right. Good defense by the Beavers. The ball is going to be thrown up, and that was tremendous defense by number 20 out there by the Beavers as he was all over the running back. That's Tachi Naruka out there, and he was all over the wide receiver, Jordan, and another great stand by the Beavers.
Yeah, big 6'3", Tachi Naruka out of Consumnes Oaks High School, Elk Grove product, and, few Elk Grove kids we've seen out here. And great defense there, a big defensive stand. One thing you got to hang your hat on if you're the Beavers in this game, you're holding a team that's averaging 41 points per game to 24 right now in the second half.
Yeah, that time he was, Watts usually if he looks at the first guy and he's not open, he has options. That time, Naruka, he locked down the one receiver, and it didn't look like Watts looked anywhere else. So we're in punt formation for the Bulldogs, standing about at the 5-yard line, going to kick it from about the 10. It's a short kick up the left side of the field, hits about midfield, takes a bounce out of play, and it's going to be a very good field position for the Beavers. They'll take over right at midfield with 7:13 to go in the game. And Jordan, the fourth quarter, couldn't have gone any better so far for American River. They're making plays. They're making things happen, and they're getting a good break right there on that punt.
Yeah, couldn't have gone much better. And we've seen a few times with the Beavers. Of course, they had that comeback against Sac City, put up 9 points in the fourth quarter against Laney, so that was a big one for them as well. So the Beavers' fourth quarter has been friendly to them so far this year.
Lewis back at quarterback with, I think Josh Moore is back behind him, standing on about the 42-yard line. Lewis at the 45, the ball at the 50. 1st and 10 for the Beavers. And Lewis is going to pass. He's got time, goes down the middle. He's going to overthrow his wide receiver, actually his tight end, as they're looking for Ian Simpson again. And Ian had attracted a lot of attention.
Yeah, I did. I think they saw how open he's gotten and the plays he's made and realized we might want to zero in on this guy.
Right, so if you've got a couple of guys who if they're going to double Ian Simpson or somebody like that, then you got to look somewhere else. But they're trying to get him down the seam, which is a pretty effective pass pattern. You see tight ends running from high school all the way up to the pros. It brings up 2nd and 10 as it was overthrown. One wide receiver out left, one out right. Lewis in the backfield with Moore to his right. He's going to fake it to Moore. Now he's going to hold on to it himself, and Lewis stumbles, but he's going to get himself a nice 5-yard run there to bring up 3rd and 5.
Right read there by Lewis, and I think he ended up tripping over a lineman's ankle there or something like that, but still 5 yards and now 3rd and manageable.
You know, the American River College quarterbacks, Carlisle and Lewis, both are runners, are both very tall. It's kind of an odd look to both of them, 6'4" and about 210, and they got the long strides, but not looking the smoothest of runners, but very effective by Lewis there to set up a 3rd and 5 in what's obviously 4-down territory for the Beavers. Looks like pressure coming up the middle. Lewis is going to get rid of it, and he's got a guy on the slant. The catch is made over there. A nice catch. Is that Barthel over there that makes the catch for the 1st down?
Looks like it is the Oak Ridge product. So a little SFL connection, the Rockland kid to the Oak Ridge kid. And Beavers moving the ball well.
That's a nicely thrown ball by Lewis. It had to be down in that one tight window, and it's over there. So Barthel out to the left. He also has a flanker in there to the left with Moore behind center. Lewis is back to pass again. He's got time. He sets it up to Simpson. Simpson's got it on the right sideline, and he's going to have a gain of about 7, bringing up 2nd and 3.
Great job by Simpson, not only getting the ball, turning upfield, getting that extra 1 or 2 yards, and getting out of bounds. And the Lewis we're seeing right now, it almost is shades of what we saw when he was at Rockland, how he's commanding the game and making the right reads, making some good throws.
Much more confident, and it's kind of ironic. I mean, Simpson has emerged as the target here, and Grayson Barnes, the other tight end, has been the target for the first 3 games. So 2 tight ends getting targets from the quarterbacks for the Beavers. We go 2nd down, and that's fakes the handoff. He's back to pass. He's got time, hits Freeman across the middle, and Freeman is knocked out of bounds right about the 22-yard line. Another 1st down for American River College.
Another 1st down, another time get the ball in your playmaker's hands, and Lewis again doing a good job facing the pressure. They brought it right up the middle, stood in there, delivers the catchable ball, and Beavers are on the move.
Yeah, I don't want to jinx him, but the Beavers receivers doing a real good job of holding on to the ball. They didn't get a lot of passes in the first half, and they are not missing any of them here in the second. As you mentioned, Lewis with a little more accuracy, and he is going to hand the ball off to Moore, go around the right side. Good pursuit by the Bulldogs, and Josh is going to be tackled right about the line of scrimmage. He might have lost a yard, so we'll call it 2nd and 11 with 5:06 to go.
I like the idea to go with the run there. You've been moving the ball well through the air. You might catch him a little bit off guard, but Bulldogs did a good job adjusting and expecting it.
Just not quite getting out to the outside a little bit quicker maybe to make that work, but you're right. You want to try to vary it up. You want to vary the looks, and so now we've got a 2nd down, and let's call it 10 again at the 23-yard line. Lewis back to pass. He's got time, steps up, looks for a guy on the side at the sideline. It's completed out there. That might be Grayson Barnes over there. And Jordan, another 1st down for the Beavers.
Great route by Grayson Barnes. He had DB there. I believe that was Sion Lalula. He had him 5 yards down the field kind of stumbling. So hard cut by Barnes gets him wide open.
Yeah, we saw that sideline routes for College of San Mateo earlier in this game, and they were very successful with them. And now the Beavers trying to pay them back. They got a 1st down now at about the 11-yard line, so they can get another 1st down. And Lewis is looking to pass. He goes to the left side. He's got Barthel coming across. He is tackled at about the 5, and he's shoved back to the 18, but I think he gets to go to the 5. I think that's the way the rules work.
I'm pretty sure it is. That'd be pretty rough if you have to go all the way back to the 18.
So it looks like he makes the 5-yard gain. So another quick slant. And I'll tell you something, Jordan. He is throwing the slant with a lot of confidence. You mentioned it earlier, but that slant is a very comfortable pattern for Kenny Lewis right now as he's second down, 4 yards to go from the 5. He's going to fake the handoff. He rolls to his right. He's trying to get outside. He's being closed. He's going to throw that one away because he thought, hey, you know something, discretion, the better part of valor on this one.
Yeah, there was nothing going. I think the Beavers really adjusted that offense. When the Bulldogs are bringing the pressure, they're having a hard time letting plays develop, so you got to have those quick strikes, and the Beavers have done a great job of that in the second half.
Yeah, the other thing, though, I mean, it's the side that the Beavers are rolling to. A lot of times they're not having a lot of receivers on that side, so it's smart for Lewis to throw that ball away instead of trying to force something back into the middle of the field, which you do not want to throw it into down at the goal line like that. So third down, 5 yards to go, and again, 4-down territory for the Beavers. They trail 24-6. We've got 3:42 to go here in the ball game from Beaver Stadium on the campus of American River College. Lewis from Rockland takes the snap. He's going to hand it off, and a nice run down there by, I think that's Casey Riley, and runs it all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And that was actually Torrey Hendrick, the Folsom product. So another SFL kid making some big plays, and now all of a sudden, if you're the Beavers, you'll get back at this onside kick and get the ball back. You got a ball game.
A little surprised that the run was so open for the Beavers down there on a 5-yard line.
I think that's what they were looking at earlier with the handoff to Moore as, hey, they're expecting the pass. Let's see if we can catch them off guard with the run, and it worked that time.
Okay, going for 2, and I think this is not a numerical thing. I think this is more like let's practice going for 2, and they didn't make it the first time. So if they make it, it'll be 24-14. They'd be down by 10, 3:38 to go. And Lewis in there. Now he does have Josh Moore to his left. Everybody else spread out. He's got 3 guys to the right in a clump formation. And he is back to pass. He's looking to the right. Now he rolls right. He throws it over the middle, and it is caught over the middle for the 2-point conversion.
They found the big Ian Simpson there, all 6'3", 240 pounds of him. He's going to win a majority of those jump balls that Lewis puts up for him.
Yeah, and he's showing some real good hands for a big man, too, because that ball was rifled in by Lewis, and all of a sudden it is a 24-14 ball game. And, Jordan, I think I'll go with your onside kick plan. But before we do that, let's just say we asked American River College to do a couple of things in this fourth quarter, and they've really come through.
They haven't. I think if you told the Beavers when it was 24-0 at half, or even after you threw the first couple of interceptions this half, if you told them there was going to be 24-14 with 3:38 left to play, I think the Beavers would take that.
And it's not a fluky 24-14. It's a 24-14 that you earned with some real big plays. I mean, Simpson with the long play, Moore with a couple of runs, some really good passes from Lewis out here, and then a run or 2 by Lewis as well. So you've used a lot of the different parts of your playbook to do this, and that bodes well for the future as we talk about next week Modesto coming in, and it'd be nice to feel like you got things really kind of hitting on all cylinders.
Yeah, definitely. We've seen the Beavers be a fourth quarter team now 3 times out of the first 4 games, and the big concern now if you're the Beavers, you're like, okay, we know how to move the ball, but let's find a way to do it in the first 3 quarters too, rather than wait until the fourth quarter and have to rely on a comeback effort to win a game.
Well, let's see if we're going to try the onside kick here. I think the Bulldogs definitely think so. Now we'll see what happens if this onside kick is not successful. Then obviously it comes up to the Beaver defense once again to make plays, which they have done very well in this. Actually, they've done it all game, but really well in the second half. It looks like we're going to go to the left side as we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Beavers, and they take one off just because they had too many, and that would not be fair. The kick goes down, nicely done, and it's going to be out of bounds, I think. I don't know that it went, and we have a couple of penalties. As Jordan, did you see somebody letting go there on the sidelines?
I didn't know quite why. I know we got the flag for the ball going out of bounds.
Right.
Looks like we have a flag on that end, too. Someone might have left a little early. The third flag, though, I don't know if that was for the kick going out of bounds or if that was for maybe a late hit or something like that. And it'll be interesting to see what happens here. Are we going to get a re-kick or are we going to get something else and a little chippiness now, too?
We've got people, mixing it up out there as cooler heads are prevailing, but now we've got some more penalty flags as the cooler heads did not prevail.
I think we had a punch get thrown.
Yes, we did. Could not see which player did throw that punch, but then cooler heads did prevail, and everybody is being separated as we have a hot day. We have a 24-0 lead. Then we have a comeback, and then we have an onside kick, which, as you said, there's a little extra contact out of bounds there after the onside kick, and that's kind of a recipe for things boiling over a little bit.
Yeah, I think Beavers took a little exception to that. Again, I don't know who threw the punch. I'm seeing 32 coming off the field, though, so I'm wondering if that is who it was. And got to think a punch thrown is an ejection, and it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Are we going to, we haven't even settled the original penalty. Are we going to have a re-kick? Are we going to have, San Mateo taking over in bad field position? What's the situation going to be here?
Yeah, usually, with the kick didn't go the required distance or it went out of bounds, that would be a possession of the receiving team, obviously. But we have a couple of extra flags. In fact, I count 5 flags on the field, so only one referee did not throw their flag, and they will probably, when they have the evaluation after the game, they'll probably get docked for that, don't you think? So it looks like number 82 has been ejected.
And I believe that's 82 on the Bulldogs. That is Stephen Henry, freshman.
So it's ARC's number 82. That's Wardy Jobert out of Oak Grove. So he has been ejected from the game, and he has walked off the field to our left. And the referees are still talking about things. All the flags still on the field. They could pick those up. That's a little decorum there. Just pick up a couple flags because they're littering the field right now. We've got one at the 38. We've got one at the 49 and the 48 and the 46. And I think Jordan Ozer involved with the altercation on the sidelines.
I believe so. And back what you said with the flag still being on the field, it'd be an interesting twist to football if the flag had to stay on the field for the remainder of the game.
It would be very interesting, but then when you threw the flag once, would you go get more flags, like umpires go get more baseballs?
I think I like that idea.
So you're going to sidestep a tackler and the flags are going to trip you up. That's
obstacles.
That is a flag on the play. So here we go. Finally, we might get a little bit of explanation here as we've got our guy down on the field side. That is the great Stones McCoy trying to get some intel for us down there. 3:38 to go, 24-14. It was 24-0, and the Beavers have put together a couple of drives, and they have scored a couple of touchdowns. One 2-point conversion was successful, so that's what makes the score 24-14. The onside kick, Jordan, as far as we could tell, was not touched by anybody and went out of bounds. So that part, we think we know that happened. So that is an illegal kick, so there's a flag thrown on that play. And then after that, there was an altercation. I think at the end of that play, somebody went sailing into the sidelines there, and I think that's what started the whole thing. And we've since had a player ejected for, we believe, throwing a punch.
Yeah, it looked like we had a player ejected on San Mateo as well, and I believe that was 32 on that. So what's going to be interesting about that now, obviously those are offsetting, but we still haven't heard a word on what the whole penalty on the original kickoff is. Are we having a re-kick? What's this flag for? Is it an offside? Someone move early and on who?
Yeah, that's on the other side of the field from where the ball was, so you'd think that might be an offsides, and where it's dropped maybe on the kicking team. So
and this is a big decision, too, because if American River gets another chance to try this, they get the ball back with 3:38 left, down 10, and 3 timeouts.
Perhaps. I don't know. I don't know that they would do that, but I'm thinking if I'm the receiving team and the guy kicks the onside kick out of bounds, then I should get possession. They shouldn't re-kick it because one of their guys was offsides, but we'll see what happens. Maybe they don't have the ability to decline that penalty. Maybe it has to be done. So it looked like illegal formation on the kickoff by the Beavers. So it looked like sportsmanlike conduct against 82 and 88. That's Joe Bear and Ian Simpson of the Beavers. Now, I saw Joe Bear leave. I did not see Ian Simpson, so I do not know if he is still in the game. And then number 32, as you said, Jordan, also unsportsmanlike conduct, and he has been ejected from the game as well. So I think that at the end of all that, it's going to be the Bulldogs' ball on the 40-yard line, on the Beavers' 40-yard line, 1st and 10, with Joe Bear ejected. I don't know about Simpson, and also number 32 on San Mateo.
It looks like Simpson's still on the sideline down there.
That's Javon Williams. So it's first down here at the 40-yard line. Hand off by Watts, running back with a big hole coming through, and it's going to be a first down run for about a 12-yard gain, and then a very late hit by number 75 there, who knocked the Beaver defender to the ground after the play was over. And that will be a unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. Will wipe out the gain and put the Bulldogs back on about the 42-yard line. So, Jordan, a good run and then a bad play.
A bad play, that's something you just can't do if you're the Bulldogs right there, because now you negated a big play, and you're facing an American River team with a lot of momentum right now. And I know tempers are a little hot, but
right.
You just got to reel it in, do what you're supposed to do, and come out of here with a win, and hopefully no more penalties or no more ejections and potential suspensions.
It looks like it was Jobert's second personal foul of the game. That's why he was ejected from the game. You don't want to go ahead and do that because, football is a game where if you got a grudge against somebody, there's a lot of different ways you can settle that without, being so obvious as to just blow a guy up over the pile.
Yeah, and it's a physical game.
Yep.
I get that tempers are going to flare from time to time. You just got to reel it in when you need to. That's what good teams do, and that's how you win games.
First down at the 42. Watts at quarterback, single running back behind him. He's got wide receivers out to both sides. He's going to hand that ball off in the backfield and closed down by the Beavers after about a 2-yard gain with the big scrum out there. So a gain of 2 for the Bulldogs, and timeout is called by the Beavers. They're going to spend all their timeout to try to get some time back on the clock if they can get possession.
Yeah, if Beavers can get possession back, and especially if they can march down the field, you got to make you sweat a little bit if you're the Bulldogs because, like I said, the Beavers have all the momentum right now, and defense has been playing tremendous this second half. Your offense has been moving the ball well in the fourth quarter, and, the deck is stacked against them, but we've seen crazier things happen, that's for sure.
Yeah, and if you're the Bulldogs, common sense would dictate that you go ahead and keep the ball on the ground, keep the clock moving, and make America River burn their timeouts. And even if they get possession of the ball again, they're not going to have any timeouts and they'll have to go the length of the field. And again, they are down by 2 scores, so it's not a 1-score game. But let's see. I think last time the Bulldogs went to the air a little bit, and the defensive line of the Beavers got in there, got a couple of sacks, and that kind of turned the momentum of the game around a little bit right there.
And I think the best case scenario if you're the Beavers here is stuff them at the line of scrimmage, leave them with a 3rd and 9, and make them have to decide, are we going to try to put the ball in the air and get that first down, or are we going to try to keep that clock moving and make you burn a timeout?
Right, so it is 2nd and 9 right now, to Jordan's point. 3:22 to go in the ball game. Bulldogs 24, Beavers 14. Watts in the shotgun. He's going to hand it off again, coming to the right side this time. Closed down by the Beavers quickly to the 39-yard line. About 2 or 3 different tacklers for the Beavers. And there you go, Jordan. That sets up your 3rd down.
Yeah, sets up a 3rd down. And again, now you're in a 3rd and looks like 6 or 7, I believe. That's a tough decision if you're San Mateo. Do you put this ball in the air, try to get the first down, and really ice this game right now? Or do you keep it on the ground, make American River burn that timeout, and see what they do offensively?
Ezra Maleni was the ball carrier on that one. He is stopped short, so it is going to be a 3rd down and about 9 yards to go, 8 yards to go. American River uses another one of their timeouts. So it's, as you say, a big call right here, because if you keep the ball on the ground, I don't know if the Beavers have any timeouts, but if they do, you're going to make them call their last one, which is what you want to do. And if you throw the ball and it's incomplete, then you're going to go ahead and stop the clock for that. But let's see if the Bulldogs have to be a little bit, I don't know, Jordan, would you say a little bit disappointed that really haven't put much together offensively in the second half?
Yeah, I think they're a little disappointed, especially I think they're a little frustrated now, too, because you essentially led American River, in a way, back into this game.
Yeah, you did.
I think you run the ball here still. I think you're up 2 scores, 3 minutes, 16 seconds left. I think the time is more important than the score, and make them burn that final timeout.
Agree with you there, and of course you could, bust the run. They busted a couple of runs here and pick up that 9 yards. It's officially 3rd and 7. And there's the little pitch again, cut back against the grain, and American River is going to stop that down for about a 3-yard gain and bring up a 4th and 4, maybe 4th and 5. So another good stop by the Beaver D.
It was a great stop by the D. I actually really like that play call because I think Beavers were expecting to run up the middle. You throw that little jet pass to a receiver, a speedy guy coming off the outside. That's a good way to find a hole, but the Beavers did a good job adjusting, and now you have the ball back with a chance to turn this into a 1-possession game with 3 minutes left.
Yeah, that would have been a really successful play, I think, had it not already been done in this game, because as soon as that guy went in motion the way he did, I thought to myself, I think it's going to be the little, like you said, jet pass or whatever it's called. So a timeout is called again And the Beavers with 3:11 to go. It is a 4th and 5. And again, Jordan, maybe they're going to go ahead and say this is 4-down territory anyway, so it doesn't really matter. We've only got 4th and 5. I mean, a punt from the 38, if we can keep it in bounds and not hit it in the end zone, that'd be a good play. But I don't know if we can do that. So maybe it's just they're going to just go, hey, we're going to go ahead and make this 5 yards, get ourselves a first down.
And it looks like that's a punt unit that's coming out there. So
I stand
think they're going to
corrected.
try to pin the Beavers deep here.
Beavers with one back there. Usually that has been Robert Freeman. And the punt is off. He's trying to go to a directional punt and waving everybody away as actually a pretty good punt. It gets it about the 11 or 12-yard line. So actually a very good punt by the Bulldogs. He wanted to keep it in play. He didn't want to, he wanted to get it inside the 20-yard line, and he got it to the 11. So good, well done.
Yeah, and I think everyone in the stadium knew there was a 0% chance that the Bulldogs were going to try to put that ball in Freeman's hands.
Exactly. So it actually is called on the 10-yard line. So first down. And basically 90 to go for the American River College Beavers. Kenny Lewis is back there by himself. He's got 3 receivers out flanked right, 1 to the left. Actually, he does have a running back to his left. So protection is key for the Beavers right here as Lewis looks to go quick, but he doesn't go quick. He tries to throw it up, and it is deflected, and it's, almost caught and then dropped. I believe Grayson Barnes was the receiver. The ball was deflected, so it was up in the air, and Barnes right there when it came down, and he dropped it.
He actually was looking for, I believe it was Brandon Barthel on there. He actually burned the DB with a nice little stop-and-go route, and he had him deep, but deflected ball, tipped ball, and that's a tough break.
Yeah, that's just what we talked about. You need to get, if you're going to have the developing pass patterns, you need to have a little more protection, and I think Barthel made the move, but not enough time for Lewis. And so here we go, second down, 2:57 to go in the ball game. He's going quick to the outside to Barthel. He's got it. A gain of about 5. Let's call it 3rd and 5 on the 15. Obviously 4-down territory for the Beavers right here. And they're facing a 3rd and 5. Barthel did get out of bounds. And so a lot of smart play in the fourth quarter by the Beavers, Jordan.
Yeah, a lot of smart play here. Good job getting out of bounds. Again, taking what the defense gives you. I think if you're San Mateo here, you're just like, we're just going to give you nothing deep.
There you go. Let's see if they can do something maybe over the middle, but now we're going to have a time called. And I think it's the referee calling time on his own and running back to talk to another referee.
I think he's looking to see where that ball was spotted because Barthel made a little move with the football trying to get an extra yard or two, but they didn't give it to him with the spot.
No, they're going to stay right where they are in the 15, call it 3rd and 5. Lewis with one running back to his left. He's got the wide receivers out to the right now. He's looking quick. He gets it quick, but he's tried to lead Barthel into the middle, and that was a tough play because there were 2 defensive backs closing in. It's going to bring up a 4th down.
Yeah, that was a bit of a hospital pass there because if Barthel got his hands on it, he had a linebacker ready to take his head off there. And, I think Lewis might have gotten caught forcing that one a little bit. He tried to ride his hot hand. He looked for that quick strike, but it just wasn't there.
Yeah, I'd like to see him try to use a little bit more of the field. I know you want to make your quick strikes. You want to get your first down, but he looked just over to the left side. So here it is, 4th down, 5 yards to go on the 15. We'll see if the Bulldogs bring some pressure. It looks like they might. Lewis with it behind the center, throws it across. It's a slant play, and it's caught out there about the 22-yard line, 23-yard line for the Bulldogs, and they're going to have themselves a first down.
That looked like Tanner Ruby that reeled that one in, a new name, the sophomore receiver out of Roseville High School.
Number 10, Tanner Ruby. So first down, let's see if they get set. They do. And Lewis back to pass, looking to his right again. He slings one out, and that's another completion out there, out of bounds. Another first down, this one about the 34-yard line.
And find your playmaker. Freeman gets there, bounces a tackle, gets an extra 3 yards, and gets out of bounds. American River's got to be pleased with the way this offense is moving.
Impressive with Freeman is usually you got your guy who can bust it. He doesn't have the best hands. And Freeman holding on to everything out there today. So it's a first down, 1:54 to go. Lewis back to pass. Under pressure is going to send one out to the right side by the sideline, but that is incomplete out there. It'll bring up a second down.
Yeah, it looked like he was looking for Ruby again. Tried to put one on the outside where only he could get it, and where we tried to keep those feet in bounds, but it was just a little bounce.
This is one of those times, Jordan, where you know you can sneak a guy deep if you can just get the time to go ahead and let the play develop, and it has not been, because I think the Bulldogs are getting used to the quick strike capability here of the Beavers, and so a Barthel or a Freeman maybe try to get past the defender, but you've got to give your quarterback time if you want to do that. Second down on the 33-yard line. Lewis back to pass. He's going to let a little screen pass go, and he's got a blocker out in front now to the 39. A nice tackle in there by the Bulldogs, knocking number 34.
I believe that was Torrey Hendrick.
So Torrey Hendrick gets that and gets himself a couple of yards. Lewis again looking to the left. He's going to run to the left. He's going to try to get the first down. No, he runs out of bounds very smartly at the 38-yard line. So let's reset here. That is going to bring up, I think, a 3rd down and 6 yards to go. I think that should be 4th down and 6 yards to go. We'll see.
Yeah, it looks like it is. They're bringing in some new
Bringing
linemen.
in some new linemen as those guys have been working hard all day, and they're going to take a little bit of a break there. So 4th down and 6. The ball is on the 43-yard line. They've got to get to the 45. So, no, that's not 4th and 6. It's 4th and 2. As Lewis ran out there. So 1:22 to go.
And it looks like it's actually 3rd down.
Well, it must have been something weird there because he had an incomplete pass. Lewis back to pass, looking to his right. Now he's going to move to his left. He's going to try to run it, but he's going to be knocked out of bounds at about the 39-yard line. So we think that was 4th down. Some people were saying it was 3rd down. So let's see.
The marker on the field says that was 3rd, so.
So we're going to have 4th down now. It looks like 4th down and 5 yards to go. Looking over to the sidelines, and the referee is asking for time. I think personally that was 4th down, but we'll see, as we have 4th down coming up right here. 3 receivers to the right for the Beavers, who have to get to the 44-yard line. Pressure coming up the middle, and the whistle drops right away. I don't know that the formation was legal for the Beavers. Let's see.
Looked like a guy jumped off too for San Mateo, and the Beavers might have gotten gifted with a extra down there.
Might get a gift. Yeah, I think they did get gifted. They might get gifted with 5 yards. Let's see. Well, they're putting the ball right back down in the same place as Tanner Ruby comes back on the field.
Seems as though everyone in the press box thought it was 4th down.
I thought it was 4th down.
The referee was holding up 3, and the chain gang was showing 3.
Like you said, the chain gang showed 3, and maybe that's what the referee was looking at, but they're supposed to keep it on their own. Now there's going to be a timeout, I believe, called by the College of San Mateo. As their defensive guys, Jordan, are spent. They have played a very tough 4th quarter.
Yeah, they definitely are spent, and this is a tough one. I mean, you got to be cramping up, especially in this heat, especially for San Mateo. You're coming from cooler weather, and all of a sudden you're out here in 92 degrees in Sacramento. It's got to be something you're not quite used to.
And let's be honest, the first 3 quarters you weren't really out on the field for very long. In this 4th quarter, basically you've been out on the field almost the whole time, and having to run around and chase Lewis and chase Josh Moore and chase a couple of other guys. So it hasn't been easy on the defense for San Mateo, which is exactly what the Beavers want to do. 1:14 to go in the ball game. It is a 4th down. It is, let's see, we'll call it 5 yards to go. And this is a play, obviously, that the Beavers, everything they're doing now, I think, is just building for next week, Jordan, and I think they've done a good job now. And one more plus play wouldn't hurt.
Oh, I definitely agree. And, if the Beavers can find a way to punch this one in, it changes the whole dynamic of this game because you're an onside kick away from all of a sudden being on a potential game-winning drive. I will say this, too, with what American River's done in the second half, with what score was at halftime, and where it's at now, as a Raider fan, this is giving me a little bit of PTSD from last Sunday.
Sorry about the brother. And we talked about the first half, the mistakes the Beavers made, and the way the punt return coming out to be a really big play in this game by Romello Murphy. The punt return he had in the first half, really a big play in this game, as the Bulldogs lead it by 10. So Lewis.
Sorry about that, but that and 2 red zone interceptions.
Absolutely, absolutely. So a lot of things they can look back on, but they're going to look at positively at this fourth quarter as they line up for the 4th and 4th and 2. San Mateo trying to get some pressure underneath, showing pressure. They are coming. Lewis trying to step up. He lets it go, and I think that is incomplete, and it looked like it was a penalty. Yes, there is going to be a flag thrown, as that was obviously pass interference on the play.
And you know, a great stat for the Beavers to hang your hat on. You're now 1 for 1 on 5th down conversions.
Yeah, that's right. That's a great point there. And it's good when the 5th down conversion's on a penalty, too.
Yeah, I mean,
you don't see that every day.
Yeah, I've long said if you can convert your 5th down conversions, you will win most games.
Yeah, you got to go ahead and set up a stat for 5th down conversions because I think that is a tremendous idea. And was it one year in Nebraska and Colorado or something, I think? Colorado and Oklahoma, I think. Colorado got a win when they got 5 downs. So it's going to be, we have an injured player on the field for the San Mateo Bulldogs right at midfield. So we're going to have a temporary timeout. He is getting to his knees, however, as the Beavers come over to talk to the referee. I never saw any kind of signal on that. I'm just assuming it was pass interference since the guy was going for the ball and he was pushed to the ground.
Yeah, I believe it was. And good job by Lewis to step up in the pocket. He threw a ball to Barnes, and the DB just got in there a little early, and that's kind of what drew that call. And now American River, I mean, you're taking a lot of time off the clock. You got to get something deeper down the field, but you're moving down the field.
Yeah, I don't know if it's – I know this is weird to say. I don't even know if it's really for this game. This drive might be for the rest of the season, and as such, they're going to go ahead and try to get everything out of this drive and maybe not worry about trying to do it because when they try to hurry things up is when they got into trouble in the first half.
Yeah, I agree with you there. And, you know, like we said, those 2 red zone turnovers and that punt return touchdown really looming big right now.
Absolutely. So Lewis in the shotgun. He's got running back to his left. I think that's Hendrick. He's going back to pass. He's looking around. He's got time. He's got a guy over the middle too high. Coming across the middle, I think that was probably Barnes coming all the way from the right side, and a lot of time for Kenny Lewis on that play. He tried to get Barnes just a little too high. Grayson jumped up, got one hand on it, incomplete.
Yeah, I wanted Barnes there. I mean, why not? He's been your hot hand. He's been your target late in games all year long. But just a little off on that one.
I don't see Ian Simpson on the field, so he was involved in unsportsmanlike. I think he was still eligible to come back in, but I don't see him on the field, and he has been a key receiver in this game, especially in this fourth quarter. 2nd down, 10 yards to go. Lewis is going to go out to the right to his running back. It's complete out there, going around the right side, trying to get out of bounds, and I think that's Ture Hendrick over there with the reception and a gain of about 6 yards.
Yeah, and Hendrick does a good job getting that shoulder down, breaking the tackle, and getting out of bounds. And another couple yards, stop the clock. Beaver football right now.
Yeah, 55 seconds to go. That's going to be called a gain of 4, so it's going to be 3rd down and 6 yards to go. Make it 3rd and 5. So Lewis, who has played solely in this fourth quarter, in the shotgun, gets the snap, has time, across the middle. He's got a guy open, but it's deflected and picked by the Bulldogs.
And
so he had Freeman across the middle, Jordan, but deflected and picked by San Mateo.
And who else but Justin Sinclair on the pick? I believe that's his 2nd of the day. Good read by him, an adjustment to that ball in the air, and that's how you ice the game, and it's only fitting that it comes with a great defensive stand forcing a turnover by the Bulldogs.
Another turnover, half dozen turnovers. I mean, a fourth quarter turnover in the last minute isn't the same as the rest of the game in this situation, I don't think, because you're kind of dictated by what you have to do. And Lewis saw a guy he saw across the middle. He had him open, but another defender comes in, makes the deflection, and they pick it off. So we have 48 seconds to go. We'll probably take a knee here, and this one will be over very soon, as San Mateo will come out with their 4th win of the season. Just takes the knee, and as time rolls on at 36 seconds to go.
I don't believe they'll have to snap it again.
Yeah, it looks like the American River coaches are coming across. They're going to come across and hopefully shake hands, and everything will be cool at the end of this game. A real good ball game. Turned into a real good ball game in the second half, Jordan, as the Beavers did what we asked them to do, which is come from behind and try to make a stand there. and it's going to be a 24-14 final score in favor of San Mateo, a 4-0 team who looked like a 4-0 team, Jordan, for one half, maybe second half, maybe let a bit off the gas.
Yeah, a little bit off the gas. I think a lot of it was a testament, though, to how well American River played defense. They forced, some big plays when they needed to. They really only let one big third down conversion up in this one. And good job by American River there to not just roll over and take it. They ended up sitting there and stood toe-to-toe there in the second half with the number 2 team in the state.
And they might have found some things, too. I mean, Kenny Lewitt looked really good. I mean, you got Barthel involved. You got Freeman involved. You got Ian Simpson involved. Obviously, Grayson Barnes. Josh Moore I thought was really impressive in the backfield. So you did see some things in the first 3 quarters. And in the fourth quarter, you kind of put it together along with the defense who was playing tough all game long. So a lot to take out of that fourth quarter. Jordan, I think the key is how much they will be able to take out of that fourth quarter and move it toward next week when they entertain Modesto right here next Saturday.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one. American River, number 21 in the state, going into this one. Modesto also tied with number 21 in the state.
There you go.
Going into this one. So that one's, and, Modesto's got a game against Butte tonight, but 2 teams that came into this week 1-2, 2 teams in need of a win, 2 teams with a tough schedule so far. And you got to think that's one of those, it's a must-win game really for both programs.
Yeah, 2 teams bearing down on very tough conference schedules as well. We'll be back here at 1 o'clock next week, Jordan and I, to bring you that one, American River College against Modesto. Also, the Stones Radio Network's all over American River College athletics. We're here on Tuesday. We got a women's soccer game on Tuesday. Stay tuned to American River College athletics. Go ahead and subscribe to that YouTube page. Then you'll get an alert whenever Stones Radio Networks goes live and brings you some American River College home sporting events, which we love to do. Our thanks to Stones McCoy down on the sidelines. My partner, Jordan Georgeson. I'm Mark the Phantom Lowe. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We'll talk to you next time on the Stones Radio Networks.